Hello and welcome to another Elgato Week live stream. I'm Phil. I'm on the technical marketing team here at Elgato, and today I'm joined by...
I'm Ken.
That's it? That's the joke?
You're not going to ask what I do here?
What do you do, Ken?
Oh, I do beach.
What is beach?
My job is beach. Beach.
Okay, but like, what?
Beach?
Can you capture beach?
Maybe. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Elgato Week stream. Today's is very exciting because we are talking capture. We are talking capture cards, we're talking Camlink, and we're also talking Embrace. So, that being said...
We really hope that you've been embracing these deals and capturing those savings.
Make sure to take out your card to buy your capture card. You can exchange, be like, here's my card, now give me capture card.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we're talking capture today. We're talking the chair. We're talking Embrace. Really cool. We talked about it yesterday. We've been obviously live the last couple days, and every single day for multiple hours, we've been sitting in Embrace.
Yes.
Burrito, how would you like rate it? I mean...
I think Embrace is awesome. It's very, very comfortable. I think that the headrest actually really works for me. Normally, headrests are too tall. They work for you, I'm sure.
It's adjustable, yeah.
But it is adjustable, so I can just bring this down.
So if you're looking for a new chair,
head level, yeah.
Then there's plenty of stuff we'll go over, but I can also,
You're my height now. Let's go. And I am maxed out on height here. My feet are dangling. I have to pump the chair really high to make sure that I don't look super short compared to Phil.
Meanwhile, I feel like I'm gonna like.
You have to like step
I'm like
into
at the
car.
table and I'm just like all mad and I'm gonna rage.
God.
You know.
But I'm curious. Out of all of you guys in chat right now, how many of you knew that we had a chair? I'm curious. Because I know every time that I mention it, some people are surprised. I'm curious if there's any of you that did not know that Elgato made a chair. You did. My second question is going to be how many people watched the Embrace live stream when we launched it? I want to get one. Now is the time. I am a chair knower. Awesome.
Very cool.
I did. Didn't know. Well, there you go. And check this out. You know, sometimes you see these kinds of chairs and there's like big logo in the back, you know. Check how subtle and clean this is. Maybe we could get the second camera on this. Maybe we could get the second camera. Yeah! Check this out.
And typically that's not going to be facing the camera either. So it is quite subtle. And just look at how good that mesh looks. The mesh back there keeps you nice and cool when you're leaning back, when you're live all day.
I got to show you a feature real quick. Have you
up?
tried this? Have you tried? Look, it's got adjustable. Oh my God, lumbar support. Have you? You got to try this. Check this out.
Yeah.
Actually, hook me up here. Hook me up.
What? Oh, yeah. It has adjustable lumbar support in the back, just through this dial here with a satisfying clicking sound. So that way you can make sure that your posture is always right. In fact, you can also lean on this chair, right? You can lean backwards, but again, for posture reasons, you should actually sit up nice and straight, as we all know, right? And also no shrimping, no like, hey guys, how's it going?
I'm a shrimp.
Like, none of that. But yeah, so Embrace is on sale starting today, and it is on sale. We also have Capture. Should we take a look at those bundle, or should we take a look at the deals and what we have going on?
A bunch of new deals just unlocked. Let's check them out.
Let's do it. All right. So remember, the way you find these deals is you go to elgato.com. Open any browser, just go to elgato.com, and you'll find the deals right there. As you scroll down, it'll automatically pick your region. And then if you do need to change your region, you can do that, of course, as well. Something to keep in mind is that there are differences in the region in terms of deal amount and also availability. So you might see something here on stream that's maybe different depending on where you're watching from. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of the usual disclaimer there. But yeah, we've got all these incredible deals here that have been unlocked starting on Monday. So we've got video, we've got audio. I'm going to jump over those because we've had the last 2 days of streams talking all about those. And of course, you can check them out yourself. And then today, Capture and Comfort unlocked, which that's such a like, I love that like tagline or name, just Capture and Comfort. It's like a coffee session or something like that. Anyways, we've got a couple Capture cards here. In fact, our entire Capture lineup is on sale. So first up is 4KS here. It's normally 160 US dollars. You can get it today for 120, which is 25% off. That's a great just 4K 60 capture card, so it's perfect for like Switch 2, or if you have a Switch 1 or a Xbox Series S, then 4KS is going to be for you. Then we have 4KX, which is like the bigger brother of the 4KS, and that one's normally $250. You can get it for just $190, so you save 24% there. And this one will do full 4K 120 pass-through with HDR. So if you got a PS5, a PS5 Pro, an Xbox Series X, or even a PC, then it's going to be a great solution there for not only pass-through, but then on the capture side, you can also capture full 4K 120, or you can also capture 1440p 60 with HDR over USB, which is really cool. So those are those two USB capture options. And then we have our 4K Pro on sale, which is our PCI card that goes inside your PC. This one's going to be 23% off, so it's normally $299. You can now get it for $230. And this one's going to be great for, again, those dual PC setups. If you're doing something that's a little bit more, using things like ultra wide resolutions, or even if you need 4K 60 HDR capture, then you can use 4K Pro for that. So again, this one's not as portable. It lives inside your PC, but thanks to that PCIe connection, you can capture at even higher quality. Mic audio is going in and out. All right, we will get right on that. But if it's all good, then no, okay. Maybe check on your side, and then it's stream. It's not our problem. It's your problem. Okay, no. The next thing is Camlink 4K, which is normally $100. You can get it for 30% off for a very nice number of $69.99 US dollars. So that's a nice price right there. That's Camlink 4K. This is going to be the latest version of it. So this is Camlink 4K version, 3? And that means that you can get video in from a camera at up to 4K 60 or 4K 30 video if you want to. And so that is great to just, if you want to use your DSLR, if you've got an action cam, really any type of camera, then you can bring that into your computer using Camlink over USB. We are actually also using a Camlink product on this live stream here. So if you're wondering, that's how we're getting our video into the computer. Now, I'm using, we're using the Camlink Pro here, which is an older product that we don't make anymore, but it's actually the same family of device. So it's just bringing the camera quality or the camera into your computer. So that's what we have going on the video side. We have 4Ks, 4KX for USB capture for consoles. We have 4K Pro for PC, and then we have the Camlink for bringing in your camera. And then on the comfort side, we have Embrace. So as we started off with Embrace, I'm sitting on it right now. Burrito's sitting on it. We've been using it throughout this stream the entire last couple days. This is a fantastic chair. And something that I really appreciate, and I don't think it's really talked about enough these days, but it's just a really good, ergonomic, great looking, comfortable chair. It's not flashy. It's not gonna stand out. You're not gonna, it's not gonna be like an eyesore almost. It's just literally a good looking, like I think at least a really great looking,
really nice,
kind of almost office style chair. That the main thing is it looks good and it keeps you, of course, just comfortable as you sit in it for quite literally hours on end, right? We know a thing or two about that, so we worked on making sure this thing is entirely adjustable. I'm bigger. I'm 6'1", tall. I can adjust the chair, the height, the armrest. I can adjust the back. I can adjust the headrest here. Like Burrito was saying earlier, it's perfect for her. I can also make it taller so that it works great for me. So, we made sure that it works for a wide range of folks. You can get Embrace for, normally it's $500. You can get it for just $400. So $100 off, 20% off, which is awesome. The other really cool thing about it, and I don't think we can show it this time. We did show it during that Embrace, whatever that was, the initial live stream.
But the setup, live stream, of course.
The setup is incredibly
we actually
easy.
have a video that we'll show you later today once we dive more into Embrace. And then it's a really quick video. It's only 40 seconds because that's how easy it is to set it up. It's basically just take it out of the box, slot it in, two screws or 4 if you want the headrest too, which is optional, by the way. So yeah, it's that quick of a video. Our transition on that part of the stream is going to be fast because it's just 40 seconds. Yeah. But yes, awesome. There's also one more thing about Embrace I want to quickly just mention is the waterfall edge. I am a feet dangler. I love when my feet don't touch the floor when I sit on the chair. Is that the recommended posture? No. But with the waterfall edge that Embrace has, I can freely dangle my feet without cutting off my circulation on my feet because it actually has a nice rounded edge basically right under your knees. So that is actually, I think if I had to pick a favorite feature, I think minus the actual butt cushion itself, because my butt's comfy right now, it's comfortable, and it's very important for me on a chair. I also really like the waterfall edge, especially because I also like to sit crisscross sometimes.
Yeah, so Embrace is on sale for 20% off. You can get that today. So yeah, everything capture and comfort. And then let's not forget, of course, the rest of our deals are going on as well still. So we'll actually go back up here. We'll kind of go back in time. If you've been looking for a microphone upgrade, we talked all about microphones, microphone arms, the difference between condenser and dynamic and Wave DX and Wave 3 and the new Wave FX DSPs, all of this stuff. We covered it yesterday on our Wave showcase. So there's some great bundles active here, like the XLR bundle with a low profile arm. This just gets you a full set of gear that you need to upgrade your audio. It includes everything from the microphone to the interface, the XLR cable, and the mic arm. You have some different choices there. We have the same thing for the Wave 3. So if you want to get a Wave 3, a USB condenser mic, then you can get that as well with the mic arms. You have that choice there. We talked about Wave Neo, and then there's also Wave Desk Stand. So if you want to check out that stream, we have the VOD up that was yesterday. Today, we're just focusing on capture and then the chair. And on Monday, it was all about the face cam and lighting, or basically video. So we've got Facecam 4K. That one's up to 25% off. So if you're looking for a great 4K 60 camera that has lens filter attachment capabilities, as well as comes in different colors, then you can get the Facecam 4K, and you can even choose a free privacy cap or CPL lens filter. Don't know what CPL means? Well, just you can go back and watch the live stream or Google it. We've got some videos and information out there about that. There's also a great Keylight bundle. This one's really, really good. Keylight is normally $360 to get, when you get two of them, you can get it for just $269, which is fantastic. So there's more deals unlocking throughout the rest of the week. The thing is, these deals aren't active for just one day. So for example, these video deals, I started on Monday. They're still active while supplies last, of course. Again, varies all by region. So just make sure that if you do want to get something, that you are taking a look at elgato.com. And again, a lot of these will come with like little freebies or options. So also make sure you select those when you add them to cart. The other thing that we have is our Elgato Drops plugin. This is something new that we're trying, so definitely want to get your feedback on it, what you guys think about it. You'll see this right at the top here. If you have a Stream Deck, you can actually get a little deal dashboard right on your device. So instead of having to always check on the site how long you have left or what deals are coming up or what the discount is, you could do that right on your Stream Deck. So check this out. I'm going to pull this up here. This is what it looks like. I've got a Stream Deck Plus here. So you can see there's the sale info, how long you have left in days and hours. Then we have our featured deal, which basically just shows you the kind of top deal for the day. You can vote on a deal. In fact, I think we need to take a look at the vote. We haven't covered that yet. You can also see when we're live. So if you have questions, you can ask those. You can just tap the key and it'll pull it right up. And then the third or the final action here, and this is kind of my favorite one, is this wish list. So of course, some deals are already live now, but essentially what you can do is, let's say you are looking at getting a Stream Deck Mark II in black or white, and maybe you're also looking at a Stream Deck Pedal and a Facecam Mark II. Well, you just highlight the products that you want to get, and when those deals go live, you will see them right on the key. So you can see, the video deals went live on Monday. So Facecam Mark II is currently active. It's showing you that discount percentage here based on the region. Now, it's only going to show you that one because that's the only deal that's active. But once the Stream Deck deals go live, it'll actually rotate the key through and it'll show you all those deals. So if I select a different one here, let's say 4KX, you'll see it's actually going to start swapping between those two and it's going to rotate. So that way you know all the deals that are live. If you don't have a Stream Deck yet, well, of course, tomorrow those deals are going to unlock. But in the meantime, if you have a phone, a tablet, an iPhone, right, Android phone, doesn't really matter, you can get Stream Deck Mobile for free on your device. So you can get Stream Deck Mobile. You can just go on the Google Play Store, the iOS App Store, download Stream Deck Mobile for free on your device. You get 6 keys, which is perfect because, hey, look, this plugin here only has 5 actions. And then you can set those up. And oh, hey, Zach is in chat here. Hey, I built that. That's kind of cool. Go save some dollars. Shout out to Check Tech in chat. He's actually the developer behind the Elgato Drops plugin. And also he does some streaming. So if you like watching like Pokemon and like some card games stuff, then go drop a follow.
We get a
for
shout
Check
out in the
Tech.
chat.
But yeah, so you can get this plugin for free at Elgato or at Elgato Marketplace and use it on your device if you want to. So yeah, the thing I didn't cover yet was actually the voting. Is the vote over or does it keep going? I think it might be. Oh, it is. Okay, we have exactly 13 hours left. So chat, here's the deal. This is pretty cool. We actually give you the option to vote on which thing you want to have a big deal on. It's a big deal. So you have Stream Deck Plus, or you have Stream Deck XL here with 32 keys, or you have Stream Deck Plus and XLR dock Mark II as a bundle. So you can choose between, you can vote once, and you can choose between these two options. And then what's going to happen is in about 13 hours when this unlocks, that selected item is going to go on sale with a nice big discount. Right now, the Stream Deck Plus and XLR dock bundle is winning. It's leading by 61%. Stream Deck XL only at 39%. Crazy thing is, I haven't really seen this move in the last couple of days. It's pretty much, it started and then...
I saw it go to 60 and 40, and now we're back to 61.39.
So
yep.
I guess you guys are pretty locked in there on what
I
what
feel
you're,
like it's going to be Stream Deck Plus and XLR bundle. Unless we have some huge effort to get Stream Deck XL, it's beginning to look like in 13 hours you can look forward to a Stream Deck Plus and
I think
XLR
it's
dock bundle sale.
I think it's a perfect. I mean, I also think that the Stream Deck Plus and XLR dock bundle is great. I mean, you get a Stream Deck with dials, 8 keys, the touch display there, and you get an XLR interface that has the new wave effects processing on there with all those DSP effects. So it's perfect if you have, I mean, it doesn't matter from our own Wave DX to an SM7B, AT2020. I mean, just literally any XLR microphone is going to work with this. So not only do you have that audio control interface, but you also have all of your other controls thanks to Stream Deck. So it's kind of like the perfect thing. Stream Deck XL, also really cool. Of course, can't discount that, or don't want to forget that. I just think that the Stream Deck Plus XLR dock bundle is just a wee bit stronger.
Also, I did see a question about an item that's not listed on this landing page, whether or not it'll be on sale. Later this week, there'll be a coupon code. And if you use that coupon code, you can basically have a discount on products that aren't on that, listed there. So keep an eye out for when that coupon code unlocks later this
that'll
week.
Be Friday.
You cannot bundle it with existing sales. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to hold out on buying this thing that's on sale because I want to use the coupon code. Well, our web team thought about that. So you can't combo it. You cannot combo it. And there are also some exclusions for that. So just keep an eye out. There is something that is normally excluded from a coupon code that isn't this time that I am really excited to share. This is for like the more advanced users, but we'll talk about it later this week. The exclusions we'll share. I know Tony, you're ready to find out.
Also,
we'll talk about it later this week.
Don't.
Yes. So there's another thing that is also live starting today or tomorrow, actually.
Well, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
But also, this is.
That's true. Yes, that's correct.
That's everything,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So starting tomorrow, there will also be deals running on Marketplace. You can see a little bit of an insight into what that's going to look like already on Marketplace. But if there's certain plugins or effects that you've been looking to get, there's going to be a bunch of deals that start tomorrow on Marketplace. This is also the first time that we do a big sales event on Marketplace, so very exciting. Look at all of these awesome plugins and profiles and audio effects that will be available. Shout out to all the makers that have chosen to be part of Elgato Week.
Oh, interesting. There's a really cool Unify plugin from a maker called Videofile.
Cut him off, Mariel. Cut him off.
From Videofile. That's also going to be as part of this discount. So if you use Unify networking equipment and you want to monitor it on your Stream Deck, I'm just saying. There's also Simple Stats from Sir Crest, who I saw in chat, which is pretty cool. And let's see, we have Calendarius from Slavicus, who's also pretty cool. But no, we have, and wait, is this Forza Horizon from Czech Tech? Didn't we just talk about him? No, it is really cool, actually. We have a lot of folks, not only, we have incredible makers on Marketplace, but what I think is also just really cool is that we have a lot of our own team that works on the products, but then we also build our own, in our free time, in our spare time, we build our own Stream Deck plugins and our own maker products. So we do build our own stuff on here. We put it on there, and I think that's really cool. So we've been working with tons of makers. They're all going to have discounts here. So that starts tomorrow, and there's going to be profiles, icons. There's going to be lots of stuff. You can get a preview here. Is Wavecast even getting a discount? Oh, look at that. I didn't know that. So
I did see somebody ask about Wavecast earlier this week if it would get a sale. So you know what? Keep an eye on Marketplace. You never know.
Yep. But okay, so yeah, we have lots of cool things. You can go vote. You can go to Marketplace, get some deals there starting tomorrow. And then we also have that kind of global coupon code going live later this week. If there is something that you didn't see a deal on yet, or you wanted to get maybe an individual product, then keep an eye out for that.
Yep. Also, since we just talked about the Drops plugin, we want to know your thoughts. Make sure to share. Are you using it? Do you like it? Do you have any feature requests? Is there anything you'd like to see added going forward? Let us know either in Twitch chat or in our Discord. We're curious to see how it fits into your setup and if it's something that you like.
Genuinely, this is the first time we've done something like this. So, there's only 5 actions, and we're going to keep expanding on this. So, my vision for it is that we will take this to new heights in the future where you might be able to get exclusive deals on there, maybe sneak peeks, maybe you get early access, or you'll just find out things ahead of time before other folks. Just because you have this plugin installed. So we really want to know what you think of it. Is it at all helpful, useful, interesting, please go download it. You would make me very happy. You would boost my numbers, my KPIs.
Yeah. His
make it look
serotonin
good.
is directly correlated with how many downloads that plugin gets. So let's get that number up.
Yeah.
Let's make Phil smile today. I did also see Zing say, this is actually really cool. Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. Wavelength 3 is on sale too. That's so true. Wavelength 3.0 is 100% off. And
Wait,
it could be
what did you say?
100% on your computer. Wavelength 3.0 is 100% off. It's
Man,
free.
our web team should have totally just put it on there and said 100% discount.
To see how many people get the deal.
Yeah. No, we talked about Wavelink all yesterday, or not all of, but a lot yesterday. So if you want to check that out, go back, watch the live streams. I think we'll also be pulling clips from it, all of that. If you are interested in getting, pretty much the best free audio routing software for Mac and Windows right now that not only does routing and mixing, but also effects, just check out Wavelength 3.0.
Integrated Stream Deck control with a beautiful plugin with live level metering, which looks great on Stream Deck Plus, by the way. So if you guys are voting for that Stream Deck Plus and XLR dock deal, get the plugin. It's great.
I have a question for the chat though, and I know we've been talking a lot, and then we'll start getting into some. We'll take some more questions from you guys, and we'll start diving into capture.
I'm already queuing some up, so make sure !Q to ask your questions.
Chat question for you guys though. Have you already picked up any gear during Elgato week? On day one, did you get a video deal, or did you get a Facecam Mark II or a Facecam 4K? Yesterday, did you pick up any of these bundles, or are you thinking about it? Are you waiting? Just let me know. Would love to see what you guys have been picking up. What's also kind of fun during the stream here, we have a little banner that will come up when someone makes a purchase. So if you do buy something during this live stream here, you will see that pop up. So it's quick. Somebody make a purchase right now, so it pops up while I'm talking. Yeah, let's see. Swampy Gator, Phil, can you roll back from the desk? Would love to see how roomy the chair looks with someone your frame size.
Give us a quick model.
I hope that's enough. Yeah. It definitely.
It's now been 0 days since Phil mogged on the stream.
That wasn't even mogging. That was just trying to, look good on camera. But yeah, it's quite roomy. As in, so the width, and again, we'll talk about this later as well. But the width of the armrests is adjustable, so you can move them out and in. You can move them front to back. It definitely fits all of me, sitting on it, the chair seat. So if you are of a larger stature, then it definitely will work for you as well. But yeah, are there any questions, or should we start diving into capture?
I think we should start diving into capture. Yeah, and then make sure that if you have questions about capture cards as we go, that you are using !Q. I've already got 3 of them queued up, so make sure that you are asking them in the chat. Don't worry if it's a very simple question, if it's a more advanced question. There's no such thing as a bad question, except the one that you just thought of right now when I said that. That one's a bad question. All the other ones, though, are great. So make sure to ask them in chat with !Q. I'll queue them up. And then we can start talking capture. The first one that we're really going to dive into is 4KS. But before we get into that, I want to just generally ask you, Phil, can you talk to us, what is a capture card? Very, very basic explanation of what is a capture card. And then what would you use each one of these capture cards for?
Sure. Let me grab one here. So this is a capture card right here, and the reason they're called capture cards is because they typically do look like a little kind of card that you put on your table or something. They're quite small. And the express and primary purpose of a capture card is to capture the video coming out of a game console. So the reason these exist is that in the past, game consoles would, you want to capture gameplay, you want to play games, you want to record, you want to stream. Game consoles did not have built-in recording, right? We're talking about the early days of, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, that sort of thing. And that's when capture cards really started, and you want to capture the gameplay from them. Now later now with like PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, those have built-in recording and even built-in streaming capabilities. However, the primary purpose of a console is still just to game, and they don't focus necessarily on the quality of that. They also don't really allow you to do things like add many overlays or customize your camera or add a microphone, that sort of thing. So if you want to record and stream gameplay from your PS5 at its highest quality with all the customization of adding overlays, adding alerts, adding your own microphone, adding your own webcam, changing the position of all of that, then you're going to want to use a capture card. So nowadays, what you'll find is that a capture card has a HDMI input and a HDMI output. This is pretty much regardless of the type of capture card you get. So the HDMI in is where you connect your, is that the right one? Yep, the HDMI in is where you connect your console, and the HDMI out is where you connect your TV. And so the signal of the capture card literally goes through, or from the console literally goes through the capture card, right? It goes in one side, out the other side again. And then that video signal, in this case over USB or for our PCI card, goes into your computer, at which point you can then record or stream it. The primary difference between our capture cards is going to be in the capability of them in terms of resolution and frame rate, and also how they interface or how they connect to your computer. So that's a very quick overview of what a capture card is and does. It captures the video and audio from your game console.
All right. So we're looking at a bunch of different capture cards here. We've got a 4KX, a 4KS, a 4K Pro, and a Camlink 4K. I guess could you quickly, we could start with 4KS. Who would use a 4KS?
So I think that the difference between, the difference between these capture cards and who they're for, like I just kind of said, there's two things really to consider is what resolution and frame rate do you want to capture, and how does it hook up to your computer? So we have three different options here. We have 4KS, 4KX, and 4K Pro, and then there's also Camlink, but we're going to focus on just the capture devices for game consoles at the moment. 4KS is going to be, actually that's the one in the box. 4KS is going to be a USB capture card, so it connects to your computer via a USB cable, and this one captures up to 4K 60 video. There's a little bit more nuance there. There's actually a lot of technical information around what resolutions and frame rates it can capture, but essentially this will capture up to 4K 60 video. So it's perfect for your Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, where the Switch 2, for example, outputs 4K 60 at its highest, or 1440p 120, which you can also capture in from 4KS. So this is just a great option if you've got a console that is primarily a 4K 60 console, like the Nintendo Switch 2, like the Xbox Series S, or even some other devices like, I don't know, we've got Steam Machine, that sort of thing. Basically anything that's 4K 60 or 1440p 120, the 4KS is perfect for. And we've got it there. So you can see it looks very similar to the 4KX. Now, if you want to step it up a level, we have the 4KX, which is this guy right here. Again, it looks very similar to the 4KS. The primary difference is going to be the capability of its resolution and frame rate capture and pass-through. So it also connects via USB to your computer. It's just got a USB-C connection there, and it comes with a USB cable. 4KX can pass through or basically take in a signal up to 4K at 120 hertz. So this is going to be perfect for your PlayStation 5, your PlayStation 5 Pro, your Xbox Series X, which can actually output games at 4K 120. It supports HDR pass-through, as well as more advanced HDMI technologies like VRR and auto low latency mode as well. On the capture side, so basically what gets sent to your computer, this will actually do 4K 120 capturing, which is really cool. So it'll send that 4K 120 signal over to your computer in SDR. You can also capture at lower resolutions or lower frame rates, of course. Again, there's a bunch of nuance and a bunch of other information that we could go over, but I just want to keep this brief. So you can capture at lower resolutions, lower frame rates. You can change the format of that of the quality. But really, this is going to be the perfect device for PS5 and Xbox Series X and PS5 Pro. And then the final capture card that we have is going to be the 4K Pro. Now, you'll see right away the form factor is a little bit different. This is a PCI card. So this slot's inside your PC. This does need a PCI slot to connect to. There are PCI Thunderbolt chassis that you can get these days. So if you do have a laptop, you would need to do that. But primarily, you're going to find this inside of a desktop computer in a PCI slot next to your graphics card. Everything else, though, is the same, just like you would have with our 4K S and X, which are these two HDMI inputs and the HDMI output there for your console connection. Where this differs to the 4K S and X is, of course, the capture, again, the capture resolution and the capture frame rates. So this also supports HDMI 2.1. It can take in a 4K 120 signal from a PS5, an Xbox Series S and X. Where this excels, though, is with PC capture. So this supports 8K 60 video if you want it to with 4K 60 capture. So if you have an 8K TV, you could use this with a PC. It also supports ultra wide resolutions like 3440 by 1440. It supports 5120 by, oh gosh, I don't even know what that number is, at a high frame rate. So basically it does ultra wide resolution. So if you have a dual PC setup, this is going to be great for you. And then if you want to capture the highest quality video from your console, like the absolute highest quality 4K 60 with 10-bit HDR, then this is the capture card that can do that. So you can take in 4K 60 HDR video from things like a PS5 or an Xbox and capture that in 4K 60 HDR, which is awesome. That's enabled via that PCIe connection. So that's going to be the major difference to these other devices is, again, that capture resolution, frame rate, and the capture quality that you can get out of it. And then, of course, also how it interfaces to your computer. Yeah, I think that covers it there. We have a lot, and there's so many details with these capture devices, right? Okay, with HDR going in, what can I capture out if I'm using, for example, 10 gig per second on the 4KX? What can I capture versus if I connect it to a 5 gigabit per second port? There's a lot to go over there. So I want to, and I'm sure there's a bunch of questions, but I've got two things I want to show you that can actually help you decide which capture card might be right for you during Elgato Week and which one you should pick up. So let's take a look here at elgato.com. And let's see, Elgato capture card selector. We have a resource here, which you can find on the site or if you Google it. And basically, this will ask you a couple questions about your setup or what you want to do, and then give you a recommendation for which capture card you should get. So we'll just go through this quickly here. So first, what's your source or input? In this case, you can choose a console, camera, mobile device, computer, dual PC, or a gaming handheld. We're going to stick to console in this case, and then you have a choice of all the different consoles that are out there in the previous and current generation. So in this case, I'm just going to go with the fairly generic option of PS5. And then what type of computer will you use to capture? Of course, this has a very large impact on the capture card that you can use, because if you have a laptop, well, again, you kind of can't use 4K Pro unless you get that Thunderbolt chassis like I mentioned, but realistically you're going to go with a USB capture card there. So I'm just going to choose Windows laptop, and actually you can see right away based on our choices it's recommending 4KX, and that's perfect. That's what I was just talking about, right? PS5 Pro can output 4K 120 with HDR, VRR, ALLM, and if you want to pass that through the capture card and then record that at, say, 4K 120 in SDR or even 1440p60 with HDR, 4KX is a great option there. There's also the next best thing, which is going to be 4KS, and then you also might need ChatLink Pro, which we'll talk about. So this is a really great tool to just get a very quick recommendation on which capture device is right for you. We'll just go through this one more time here. So what's your source or input? We'll do console again. And, this time we'll just select, I don't know, we'll do Series X, and then we'll do Windows Desktop. And boom, here we go. It recommended 4K Pro because it knows we're on a desktop. It knows we've got a high-end console like the Series X. And so that is going to be the recommendation there. Of course, you can also get alternative recommendations here. And so this is the first thing. Here's this capture card selector. Now, there's another resource that we have for you, and this is actually on the capture pages itself. So I already see the resolution and frame rate discussions in the chat, and we'll get to all these questions. But we wanted to make this simple because there's a lot of numbers that fly around. 3840 by 2160 at 120 with HDR, without HDR. What can I capture over USB, that sort of thing. So if you actually go to the page for example, for 4KX, and you scroll down, you will find a, let's see, there's a resolution tool here, or basically a quality tool. So what quality can you capture? Very similar to the capture card selector. This will ask a couple questions, and then it will tell you what you can actually record, or basically what you capture to your computer. So we're on 4KX here. Let's get started. So what's your source or input? We'll select PS5 again. What resolution is your source set to? 4K, of course, right? Naturally. What's the frame rate set to? Again, this will also depend on what you use as the pass-through. So if you have a TV that supports 120 hertz at 4K, awesome. So we'll select that. And then are you playing in HDR, SDR? Of course, we're going to select HDR here, and boom. So here you can see you can capture up to 4K 30 or 1440p 60 or 1080p 120 with HDR, or 4K 120 in SDR. Now, these are just the upper bounds. Of course, you can also capture these in lower resolutions and lower frame rates, and HDR input can always be tone mapped to SDR. So that is a really clear kind of look at what you can then capture. We'll go back here. We can select something else. I don't know. We could do, let's say, Xbox One X here, or Series X. Let's do 4K again. We'll do 4K 60, HDR, and then you can see here, you get that answer. So this is a really great tool that you can use to quickly find out, the capture card that you have, and then what it can actually capture once you hook it up to your computer. So if you're wondering, between which capture card to get, use that capture card selector tool. And then if you want to dive even deeper and want to know exactly what you'll be able to record or stream, then you'll want to use the resolution quiz that's on the product pages itself. Or stick around the stream, ask your questions, and we'll talk about it here right now.
Awesome. All right. So keep asking your questions in the chat with exclamation point Q. And then really quick, I just thought it'd be a good idea to say which one's your favorite capture card. I really like 4KX. I absolutely love using it for Switch, I've only played PlayStation like once on my stream because I have it set up really nicely downstairs. But at some point, I want to start doing like couch live streams. So like set up, my camera downstairs, just be playing games all cozy, blanket up. So that way I can play my console games on stream with 4KX and just like run some sort of very long cable upstairs to my computer. It's gonna be Phil's gonna hate that setup when I build that out. It's gonna be a little funny looking. But yeah, I really like 4KX. It has by far and way beyond all the quality I need for pass through and capture.
I'm also gonna go. It's between the 4KX and 4K Pro for me. Mostly, I'm on the technical side. It's mostly because of what we're doing here. 4KX is a beast of a capture card. It uses 10 gigabit USB-C, which is really, really cool. It enables higher capture frame rates, resolutions, and just quality. And it supports HDMI 2.1. All of that in that like little package there is really, really cool. Even the HDR tone mapping on device. Again, this little package all over USB. Then we have the 4K Pro. Now, 4K Pro does some really innovative stuff under the hood, which I'm not going to go too much into detail, but again, you can send 8K 60 video in and capture that at 4K 60. And we actually just released a firmware update for it where when you bought your 4K Pro maybe a year ago, because it's been out for a little bit now, you could capture 4K 120 at 1080p 120. But of course, if you want 4K 120 coming in, you also want to capture that at 4K 120, right? So actually a firmware update that we just released on Monday adds the capability to capture 4K 120 as well from that 4K 120 input.
Surprise!
So that's a firmware update that we did after the launch of the product. In fact, we have a YouTube video that's covering all the new changes to Elgato Studio 1.1 and these new resolutions. And that same firmware update enables those new ultra-wide resolutions. So if you're looking to capture 5120 by 2880, or what is it, 3440 by 1440 at like 100 and something FPS, then a firmware update to this, which is out now, will enable that. So I don't know. I'm biased towards both of the high-end solutions simply for the fact that they do some really cool technical stuff and that we're continuing to improve and update these over time. So
You know
these
what I
are both
realized?
awesome.
I think I lied.
What?
I forgot Camlink was here.
Well, we haven't talked about
So-
Camlink just yet.
Camlink is different. It's not exactly the same. It's not, I mean, it does capture. It's not exactly like a capture card like this, has different capability. But for the sake of it also unlocks today, actually Camlink is my favorite. I have been using my Camlink since 2018, which I believe is exactly when it came out, or it might have been the beginning of 2019 or end of 2018. I'm still running the same one. I actually don't have the newest one. I got to get on that, maybe with Elgato with deals. But I have been using this thing. This thing is a champ. I love being able to use a nice high quality camera for my streams. I use a Panasonic G7X. That thing has run so many hours with this Camlink. Sometimes I leave it on overnight. Whoops. But I just really love the ability to use a high quality camera as a webcam.
And that's
I
really
just
what
think
this
that's
thing
awesome.
does.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
That's it.
the
That's the
Camlink, the
story.
reason it looks like a little dongle is because that's literally what it is. It's actually like the simplest capture device we have. It's got that HDMI in, USB out. You can put a camera into it, and it then looks like a webcam to your computer. So in Discord, in
It's so
Zoom,
easy.
in Slack, wherever you are, you just in the drop down, you just select Camlink, and then boom, your video's in there at whatever quality that app is going to use.
In 2020, when school went remote for me, I looked so good in those college Zoom calls. Everybody would message me and ask. Like, I had teachers being like, "What are you using? Like, I need that. Like, look at this like old webcam I have. It's just not cutting it." So I did recommend Camlink to a lot of people back then in 2020, and I recommend if you're doing like professional business calls and you really really want to look good. I think that Camlink is just, in my opinion, the best possible solution.
In fact, this will also,
And it's very upgradable too.
Yeah, of course. If you want to do that, in fact, this will also get video in from your camera at up to 4K 60. So this is kind of version 3 of our Camlink. We've had a couple of versions over the years. This is our latest one. If you order it from Elgato.com during this deal and beyond, you're going to get this latest version. And this does 4K 60 video input. So if you have a newer camera that does 4K 60 over HDMI, then you'll get that super smooth 4K video. Of course, if you're just hopping on video calls and whatnot, it's not actually going to send 4K over to the people on the other side. However, getting that higher quality video in means that the end result of that downscaled video is going to look even better. So you can use this at 4K 60, 4K 30. It's also not just cameras. I mean, and this is a little secret, chat.
I've done this.
You don't want to leak.
Yeah.
But you don't have to use this for cameras. Like if you just have a Switch 2 and you're like, I don't really need the HDMI pass through on my capture card. I just want to like play on my computer and I don't know, play some Pocopia or what's the Me thing that just came out?
Tomodachi Life.
Tomodachi Life.
Yep, you got it, nailed it.
Then you can actually
Flip
just
it.
use Camlink for that. Like you just plug your Switch 2 into this, and you can use a Camlink. So that's a little secret there. It does not need to be a camera. It's just called Camlink because that's the primary use case, and of course we want to make it easy to understand. Yeah, Camlink is just a 4K 60 video input. Makes it super simple. I also want to add something that you guys are seeing, and maybe we can get a close-up shot of this, is it comes with a USB-A port, and I don't know if we have the extension cable, but essentially what you get in the box on the latest version, which again is what you're going to get, it actually comes with a little extender dongle, and that extender cable is going to be USB-C. So it's basically USB-A to C. So that way you can plug it in, onto a C port on your computer, or if you've got a MacBook, it just connects right in. If you want to use it on that USB-A port, then you could just connect the Camlink directly to your computer. So I just wanted to mention that in the box now you get a female USB-C to A adapter. Which is nice. I do recommend using it either way, because if you think about it, you could connect this directly to your computer via that USB-A port. The thing is, if you do that, and let's say you, you attach a cable to this and then it's kind of like hanging. You could, in theory, like pull on it and then maybe bend a port or something. So I do recommend either way using that little cable that it comes with, that little extension cable.
No, you can't make me. It's just sticking out of my top of my computer.
All right, chat knows. Burrito here is going to be obstructionist today. Chat, you guys get it. Know.
It's on my front header on my PC.
That works too.
It's just sticking right up there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the Camlink 4K. That's on sale right now for 30% off. Jesus,
$70.
It's $70.
That's such a good deal, bro.
This thing is.
Yep.
It's the nicest deal we have at $69.99.
Yep.
But for $70, and the thing is, you get the latest model. It does 4K 60 video, and it just works. I mean, that's kind of what you want.
Yep. And if you have that old model from 6-7 years ago, then you want to make that upgrade. This is the best time to make that upgrade to Camlink 4K. I feel the eyes burning on my side. I didn't have to look. I just felt it. See, there's.
Society and culture is forever ruined.
No.
With those numbers.
We are unified.
But okay, so we've talked about. I feel like there's probably some questions that have come up. Should we answer some questions? And then once we do that, after that, we'll take a look at the software and how you actually use these devices. So we'll take a look at Elgato Studio. We'll take a look at OBS, how you bring these in. I think we have some other software too. We also can talk about. Well, actually, something we didn't mention yet is ChatLink Pro. So you actually get something for free. So, I mean, kind of cool that we do this, I think. Not only do you get a discount on the product itself, you get a free product with your order of a 4K SX or 4K Pro. So let's talk about ChatLink here for a second. What is ChatLink and why do you get it and why do you need this? So ChatLink Pro is a cable that came out of sort of a necessity, which is that the original PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, and the Switch 2, they do not output audio to multiple places at the same time. What does this mean? Well, with the PS4, if you want video and audio going out over the HDMI, great, you've got that. However, if you connect your headset to the PS4 or PS5 controller, the audio stops going out over the HDMI. Now we have a problem. We have video, but we don't have audio. And so what ChatLink Pro does is it actually sits in between the headset that you have and the controller, and it splits the audio. It basically takes what you hear in your headset and converts that into basically two connections, one for your headset, and then the other you can connect into the analog port on your 4K S or X, or you can connect it to the line-in port on your computer. And so this solves that problem that you have with the PS5, PS4, Switch, and Switch 2, where it can only send audio to one place. So Burrito's got it there. And basically the way this works is... I've actually got a Switch 2 controller here, so we can kind of show this. But let's say you have, in this case, imagine this is also a PS5 controller, right? The same thing works. Or you would just simply take the kind of main end here of the ChatLink Pro and connect it to the headphone output on your controller like this. Then you take the other end of that, and I'm just going to move these out of the way. And actually, sorry, that's the wrong end. Oh, it needs to go like this.
I'm all a little tangled back here.
Yep. So now what you end up with is these two things, right? You have a female port here, and then you have another male port on the other side. This is where you plug your headset into. So you plug your headset into this, and it's a 4-pole, meaning that you can also talk back into your controller and talk in-game if you want to. Then what you do is you take your capture card. So for example, here we have 4KX, and what you'll see is on the front, there's a analog connector, there's an analog port. You take the other end of the ChatLink Pro cable that you have that has this male port or this male connector, and you just plug that into your 4KX. The final step in the software, you'll want to switch the audio source from the HDMI here to the analog port, and we'll show you how to do that later in the software section. But essentially, that's what the ChatLink Pro is for. It's for taking audio from your Switch or your PlayStation, splitting it to your headphones and to the capture card, so that way you can get audio when you're using a capture device. And it is pretty much that simple. So that's ChatLink Pro. You might be also wondering, so why is there's this big like thing in between here as part of the cable? This is a ground loop isolator. So what this does is you can turn it on or off. You can pretty much leave it on. It doesn't really make a difference there in the audio. But what you'll notice is that sometimes if you have your controller charging and your ChatLink connected, what you might hear some buzzing in the audio, and that's because it's causing a ground loop. Basically, the console, the controller, the capture card, your computer, they all sit on the same electrical circuit, and then they can cause electrical interference. This is actually a ground loop isolator, and what it does is there's a connection inside. There's actually a crystal. It's pretty cool how it works, but it basically disconnects the electrical in a way that even is beyond my understanding, in such a way that it stops the ground loop. And so you can just literally turn this on. And that's why this is called ChatLink Pro, because we had an original ChatLink which didn't have this feature. The new ChatLink Pro does. And the cool thing is you get ChatLink Pro for free with your purchase of a 4K-S, 4K-X, or 4K Pro from Elgato.com right now during Elgato Week. So not only do you get a discount on the product itself, you also get this for free. So that's why ChatLink Pro exists. And yes, I already see in chat, there's other ways around this whole like audio issue. So for example, you could just monitor the audio via your software, right? Like let's say you have your headphones connected to your computer. Well, you could just have your Switch and your PlayStation audio go into your computer, and then in OBS or in Elgato Studio, play that out to your headphones. Totally works. Some folks don't like that because there's that tiny additional amount of delay then in the audio, right? I mean, it's a very small amount. If you're playing a game like Call of Duty, then you may want that like just low latency, perfect audio, where, okay, then you don't do that, and that's where the ChatLink comes in. However, if you are playing, and I'm going to butcher it again, Tamagotchi Life.
I'm not helping you.
Chat, help. Or Pocopia, then that doesn't require like ultra low latency audio. Then you can just play through the preview audio.
Excuse me, I need ultra low latency audio when I'm playing Pocopia. That game is intense, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard work.
I'm just trying to be relevant, okay? You can see how I'm struggling with relevancy right now. I've played neither of these games. I just know that they're popular, and so I'm trying to be like, how do you do, fellow streamer kids?
You guys got Pocopia on your Switches?
No, but I mean, so there's different ways that you can listen to the audio, but it's really cool that ChatLink Pro is included. So,
well, there's tents, Lord. There's tents. Okay, there's tents in Pocopia. I know because I'm still in one.
But yeah, so that's ChatLink Pro. Again, if we can take a quick look here at the deals again, this is what it looks like. So for example, again, you can get 4Ks here for 25% off for just $120. Cool thing is ChatLink Pro itself, isn't that like, I think a $20 value right there? So what you can think of this is like, not only are you getting the 25% discount, you're also getting another $20 value through the ChatLink Pro. You do have to check this box here that says free ChatLink Pro. So make sure you select this and then hit add to cart. Oh, we have all the other stuff from yesterday. Let me go ahead and remove this. It's going to take a second here. I'll go ahead and remove this and remove that. There we go. So check that out. You get that discount there, and yeah, it's $20. So you're getting about $100, almost $200 in value for just $120, which is really cool. So you do want to make sure that you select that free ChatLink option. In fact, I want to see what happens if I don't select it. Oh, we don't add it. Okay, so you got to make sure, chat, that when you guys get your capture card, you don't forget to check that box that says you want a free ChatLink Pro.
I did see all the orders on the top right. They were showing ChatLink Pro, so you guys are doing good so far. But just don't forget to check the free button.
Yep. And you can even do that with the 4K Pro. Now with 4K Pro, we didn't show that, and I can't show that really on stream today. But essentially there, if you have a desktop computer and a motherboard, those have line-in ports at the back, right? Those analog ports. There's usually a green and a blue one. The green one's going to be your headphone port, and the blue one is line-in. That's what that little mic symbol means if you've always wondered. And so you want to connect the ChatLink cable there, and then that way you can get your audio in from your console while using the PCI card.
Yep.
But okay, now let's get to some questions. I know there's been a lot, so let's take those, and then we'll take a look at software and some other stuff.
All right. So the first question that we will answer
Actually, sorry, can I have a real quick joke? Will Elgato ever make an Elgato boom mic? Sorry, that was dumb.
So the first question is from, let's see, Little Miss Ladybug. Can the capture cards be used on older consoles?
Yeah, up to a point, right? So the capture devices are meant for capturing HDMI from a console that outputs things like 720p, 1080p, 4K. If you have something that's even older than that, as in something that outputs analog video, then they're not really meant for that. You can still get an analog to HDMI adapter, of course, but just make sure that you get one that's well reviewed, high quality, that sort of thing. Just because, I mean, we really, like, yeah, we support 480p, stuff like that, but like lower resolutions like 240p, 240i, those really aren't supported. We didn't check that. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but yeah, just make sure you do some research first before you make a purchase there.
Yep. You will have to get a little creative. I will say I have been able to connect a old Sony camcorder to Camlink. Like, it has night vision. Like, it's awesome. So it was a lot of adapters and stuff running, a little finicky, but I did get it to run, and it worked great for some horror game streams that I did at night. So it was like really dark. I turned the night vision on. So
that's really
yeah.
cool.
There's also like a lot of stuff online. If you honestly just like look through like Reddit or YouTube of people talking about how they've managed to do that with their capture cards, or for example, something like Camlink. So yeah, there's definitely resources online, even if it's not like officially supported. All right. We have a question now from Spotja, who's talking about Chatlink Pro. Does that make a wireless controller and headset not wireless anymore?
No. So the cool thing is with PlayStation 5, with the Switch controller here, and even the Xbox One, the audio still comes wirelessly to the controller, right? So you just connect your Chatlink to the port here on the on the front of the controller, or technically, I guess it's the back of the controller, and you don't have to wire up your controller though. The audio still comes through. So. Yeah, it still stays wireless. Although, I guess, could this also be a joke where they're like, it's technically not wireless because you have a Chatlink Pro, which is a wire? Technicality. Splitting hairs.
All right. Smiji says, I was able to do audio, but then not hear any of my stream sound alerts with Chatlink.
Yes. So, I mean, if you have, of course, a console and you've connected your headset to the Chatlink, then you only hear the console audio. If you want to hear your alerts and you want to hear your console audio, my suggestion there would be to go the other route, which is basically just connect your headset to your PC, and then in OBS or Elgato Studio, just unmute the preview audio, and then you can listen to, of course, your game audio that way. You can also hear your chat, right? Because then actually the voice chat will go over that HDMI as well, and you'll hear the alerts coming in, of course, from your computer. So that kind of puts it all together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another Chatlink Pro question. Little Miss Ladybug asked, would that be the same for a microphone also?
Let me just separate these two real quick. So if you have a headset connected to Chatlink Pro, that headset mic is going to go back into your controller, but it's not going to go to your computer. So it does work as basically the chat back to like party chat, lobby chat, whatever it might be. If you want to connect a mic or basically use a microphone for your live stream, that does have to be a separate microphone. So we're talking like a Wave 3 or a Wave DX here, something like that. That's not going to be the same headset mic. Really, Chatlink is all about just getting the audio from your console to your computer, and then it has those nice quality of life things like it's a 4-pole, so it does get the audio back. But you do need a separate microphone for your stream audio.
All right. Sin Scene Gamer says, with 4KX, is it possible to capture a game that runs at 60 FPS, even though the card runs at 4K 120 FPS, or would I need to switch my console's frame rate?
That's actually a great question, and I will show you the software now really quickly because it's, super easy to do, and then we'll go back. I don't want to do all the software overview just yet, but just to answer this question.
Ooh, we could jump into it.
Let me actually grab that. Was that the 4KX here?
Mm-hmm. Are you sure you don't want to just do the demo now? I think we can do it. Sean says play Mario Kart. Oh, while he sets that up, I have a question for you, Sean. What camera are you guys streaming with right now? Quality is amazing. You want to come over here and let them know the two cameras we got running with Camlink Pro?
Hello, chatter. Who said that? We are using the FX3, Sony FX3, which is a very popular like content creator / professional DSLR type of cinema camera. And then we have the FX6. FX6 is the Sony complete cinema camera. It's really big. I can't show it to you guys, but it's there. It's what's looking at me right now. Hello. Okay.
So yeah,
Perfect.
the main camera here, this is the FX3, and then our side camera, which is also on a tripod, so we can move it around. Sean's operating that like that. That's going to be a FX6. So we talked in one of our other streams about all the gear that we're using, which is our own gear here. So like this is Wave DX. We've got our Mic Arm Pro. We've got a Stream Deck Plus here for scene controls. We've got a Stream Deck Plus XL behind the scenes. We're using Wave XLR Pro for getting those two XLR mics coming in. Yeah, there you can see kind of the behind the scenes here.
Should we show real quick the tally light we've created with Stream Deck Mini? This is really silly, but since Sean is hand holding, we DIY'd a tally light for him to know when his camera's live on Stream Deck Mini. That's just one of those things. So I set two icon states there. One is red, so Sean knows when his camera's live, as it is right now. And then when that switches back, it'll be just like a little preview that shows like second cam. DIY. And then we got Prompter XL here, which is super awesome for a stream like this where it's like two people were further away. We've done the regular prompter for that before. That's really for one person. Prompter XL has been so good for the two of us. It's awesome. That's how we're reading chat right now. I Spy the Stream Deck Mini Discord edition. That's a handy use of the Mini. Also, you could do that with Stream Deck Mobile. I was telling Sean, like, maybe we should set up the phone on top of the FX6 and kind of run it that way. But anyways, yeah, we are using our own gear all over here with, all these awesome products.
Cords look like mine. Can we all? Can we be real for a second?
Yeah, we got to be real.
Productions always look like this. The thing is, it's always about the important thing is what's on camera. It's not what's behind the camera. Nobody wants to know.
We did just show it on camera, though.
I mean, we showed it, of course.
That's because we're not ashamed.
The thing is, it's all about what's on the camera, the show you're putting on, the content you're making. You got to do what you got to do. If you're doing, duct tape, bubble gum, extender cables, long runs, whatever, the show must go on, right?
This whole setup also gets built in 2 days and then torn down in 1 day. So I'm not really concerned. The cables are going to be gone by end of day, Friday or Monday. So
yeah,
it's okay.
But
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You guys didn't see it.
Let's take a look now at the software. And there was that one question that kind of kicks that off, which is, if I have a 4K 120 input from a capture card, can I capture that at 4K 60 or maybe a lower resolution instead, something like that? The simple answer to that is yes. So let's take a look at Elgato Studio. And this is our software that you get with the capture devices. And then also we'll go over OBS and all of this. And yeah, so let's take a look. Bless you, whoever. I don't know if that was heard on stream, but okay. So here we are, and what you're seeing here is Elgato Studio, and this is what it looks like when you have a capture device connected. So you're going to see your capture devices here on the left side, and right away you'll have your video preview in the middle here, and on this right-hand sidebar, when you open this up, here you have your recording, your video, and your audio options. At the top here, you've got this really nice display which shows you a little bit about your signal chain. So in this case, you'll see the HDMI in, what's happening here. You'll see what your capture device is doing. And then you'll also see the recording format and what it's currently set to. Next to the capture device name, you have your device info. So here you'll see things like the serial number, as well as if there's a firmware update available, and then a more advanced HDR tone mapping setting. So video coming into Elgato Studio, the capture card is always going to send the highest quality, or basically the same thing that it's getting from the console. So in this case, we have a Switch 2. The Switch 2 is outputting 4K 60, and so 4K 60 is going to be that highest quality. There was a question about, can you record at a lower resolution or a lower quality, though? And the simple answer to that is yeah. What you do is you'll see in this recording tab over here, max resolution and max frame rate. You simply set this to whichever frame rate or resolution you want to record at. So even though I have a 4K 60 input here, if I want to record at 30, I can just set this down to 30 FPS, and now it'll record at 30 frames per second. If I want to record this at, say, 1080p instead of 4K, I can simply set this to 1080p, and now the recording will be at 1080p 30. So the hardware is still sending in this case, 4K 60 video. In fact, you can see that here, right? HDMI in, 4K, there's capture up to 4K, and then the recording is 1080p 30. And now if I hit record, it's going to start a 1080p recording here. So that's how you can do that. You've got a bunch of recording options within Elgato Studio here. Like I said, you've got this resolution, you've got the frame rate. You also have, this actually just came out in an update on Monday. You have this new quality slider, which this determines the bit rate that you record at. Now, this uses a simple algorithm in the backend to just kind of go, okay, do you want low, medium, or like the maximum bit rate? So if you want to record the highest quality, you can just set it to maximum. Or if you want to save some more disk space, you can also record on a lower quality. And then you also have a format choice here. Now, this will depend a little bit on which graphics card or which system you're on, like Mac or Windows. But essentially, you can choose from H.264, H.265, or HEVC, and AV1. H.264 is going to be your most compatible option. This kind of works just across the board everywhere. HEVC and H.265 are also pretty compatible these days. These are going to be a little bit more efficient, so the quality is going to be higher, or you can also turn down the bit rate, and it'll still look very, very good. And then you also, if you have a compatible device, you'll have the option for AV1. Now, AV1 is the latest and greatest video codec. This will get really, really high quality, or if you want to lower the bit rate, you can, and it'll actually match or still even exceed the quality of the recording that you would get from things like H.264 or H.265. In this case, in this rig that I'm running here, we have an RTX 4080, which supports AV1 encoding, so I could go ahead and select AV1. Now, if you have an HDR input and you want to record HDR, then you can also toggle on HDR recording here. And at this point, it will record HDR video when you have HDR coming in from your console. Something to note about HDR is that it does require H.265 or AV1. So let's say you're on an older system that doesn't support H.265 or AV1, then HDR recording simply won't work. However, again, pretty much every system these days supports at least H.265, and so you're going to be pretty good there. So you can just toggle that on. And then you'll have to make sure that your source, whatever's coming in, like a PS5 or a Switch or an Xbox, is also set to HDR on. We can also come over here to the video settings. Now, I typically recommend leaving these on default. There's really not much to change here. You can change, if you know what you're doing, the HDMI color range. You can also change the EDID mode. Again, for most of you, I recommend not touching these. Just leave these as they are. These are quite advanced settings. If you do want to learn more about them, then we do have links and guides and stuff like that. But yeah, would just recommend leaving these as they are. And then the final option here is audio, and this is where when you get that ChatLink Pro and you want to switch the capture card's audio from HDMI, that's what I've got going in right now, right? HDMI audio. If I want to switch that over to analog, I can simply in this drop down select analog audio, and then it's going to take a second, refresh, and now we have analog audio coming in. Of course, I have nothing connected to the analog port on this 4KS, so there's no audio coming in, but this is how you would do that. This is also what you need to do if you're going to use the analog port and have your capture card in something like OBS Studio, because that audio switch between HDMI and analog is done on the capture card itself, and you need to do that here in Elgato Studio before bringing it into something like OBS. So I'm just going to switch this back to HDMI here. So these are the kind of the main options here, like I said. In terms of the overall interface, you of course have your big red record button down here. You can just go ahead and click record, and this will start a recording, show you how big the file is, how long you've been recording. You also have a screenshot button, so if you want to take a quick screenshot, you can, and then that just takes a screenshot at the resolution that's coming in. You also have a volume adjustment here for the audio preview, and then you can also go full screen. So the full screen option is nice if you, again, are playing on the preview. Even something like Mario Kart here typically doesn't need like frame perfect input. So if you want to play in the video preview, which is low latency, you can go ahead and just click this. And now you have a full screen preview, and even the UI is going to go away. So this is a really nice option for playing those playing games like that. You also have settings here. So for example, going into the settings and then under recording, here you can change things like the file path, so where you actually want to record. You can change the file name here, and then also, of course, if you do multiple recordings one after the other, you can have there's automatic date and time being added to those, or just a number, right? Like you could say like recording 1, recording 2, recording 3, that sort of thing. And that's really it. You know, Elgato Studio is made to be simple, efficient, and fast. It's all about just quickly getting you up and running with a high quality recording and being able to ensure that your device has all the latest updates, the latest firmware, and just make sure that everything is good to go. Oh, I should also mention that to access your recordings quickly, down here at the bottom left, you click this, and this actually opens your library folder. So here you can see your recordings and your screenshots quickly and easily. Elgato Studio does not, however, live stream. So how would this work with, say, OBS? So let's say you've got your 4KS or 4KX or Pro. You've made sure that audio and video are coming in. You've made sure that the firmware and driver are all up to date and it's all good. You can go ahead and close close Elgato Studio, and then head over to OBS. And I'll show you how to set that up. It's quite simple here. So we're in OBS. I'm going to go ahead and remove this camera. Let's say you have a blank scene. You'll want to go to this plus button here, add a new video capture device, and we'll just call this Elgato 4KS. Click on OK. And then from the dropdown, you'll want to make sure you select that device, Elgato 4KS, and check that out. The beauty is, by default, it'll just pull in the video and audio right away. If you do want to customize the quality, like the video coming in, it should select the right option. However, you can also go to custom down here and just make sure you've got, if you've got 4K video coming in, then, set it to 4K. You can set it to 60 here. And then I would suggest leaving the rest on default. There's a couple other options, but again, unless you know what you're doing here, just leave these all on their default. I'm also just going to set this back to device default. And check this out. We've already got audio coming in here from the device. So that's actually how simple it is. Now you have your 4K 60 video coming into OBS Studio, and you're good to record, or you're good to stream here. Of course, you can resize, adjust, and make some more changes. Keep in mind that if you aren't seeing any audio here, and you have that ChatLink Pro, and you're on a PS5 or PS5 or a Switch, you'll want to make sure that you go back into Elgato Studio and that you switch that audio from HDMI to analog, and then open OBS again, and you'll have audio coming in. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's more to it. You just go into OBS, add that as a source, and yeah, you can see even here it's ultra low latency. You can now listen to the preview if you wanted to get audio that way. So that's a very quick look at Elgato Studio and also how to add 4KS or any of our capture devices into OBS Studio.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we field some questions?
I think so. I think I've seen some come in.
We've got a question from Mommy. Is there a live playback option?
Live playback as in like a recording? No, you would just do that. You would open the library folder, click on that little icon, open the library, find your recordings, and just play it through there.
All right. A question about different resolutions. Kintsugi asked, does 4KX work with 2560 by 1600 for 240 hertz resolution, 1600, not 1440, 1610?
I'll be honest, I don't have the answer off the top of my head, specifically because 2560 by 1440 does work at, I believe it's 144 hertz. I don't think 240 is supported. 1600, I would need to check if it actually works. I don't know if we've tested that or not. So yeah, you might want to just see online if someone has checked it out and worked at that. But yeah, I haven't tried it.
Okay. Alrighty, and then we have a question from Little Miss Ladybug. They currently have an HD60 capture card. It served them well for streaming their retro consoles. Will there be a difference in capturing the game content if they were to upgrade their capture card?
From retro consoles, probably not really. I mean, your PS2 is not outputting 1080p anyways. Your Series S could output like 1440p or 4K. So if you were to get like the 4K-S or 4K-X, then you could capture that at 4K. So that's really going to be the biggest difference there. Also, if it is the HD60, the old USB 2 one, then you have that delay still, right? Because that was USB 2 back in the day. So you don't get that real-time preview. So the biggest difference for you there would be that you also get that real-time preview. I mean, there's quite a few, right? You get real-time preview, you get uncompressed video, you get HDR video, USB 3, higher capture resolutions. So there's definitely a couple things that you would gain there if you do upgrade to a newer device.
Yeah. I am not bald. I'm actually not bald.
Wow.
I had to put the rumors to rest. Nothing wrong with being bald. I'm just saying I'm not. And the wig is not included. I just started wearing hats on the stream, and I decided it was a good opportunity to show all my collection of hats.
Between the bucket hat and the colors, Burrito is just a mad raver. Like every weekend, she just goes
Despite
to the dankest
not
raves and like
going to
the
raves.
most back alley, like
No.
garage, underground type things like that.
I'm co-opting the bucket hat away from raves and to grandmas. To grandmas like me who go to sleep at 10 p.m. Not this week, but other times. Myth busted. All right. And then we have a question about Camlink Pro. They use 3 Canon mirrorless cameras and they love it. What's the huge difference between Camlink Pro and 4K and Camlink 4K?
So the only difference there in terms of the resolution or quality is going to be that the Camlink 4K can do 4K 60 video. The Camlink Pro can do 4K 30. That's pretty much it.
Okay. And then Vic was just asking if you were going to talk about HDR, ultra wide, super ultra wide, which is obviously Vic's favorite topic. We know this to be true.
If there's questions, absolutely. HDR is something where it's quite a technical topic. And I actually don't have a video editor or anything, but recording HDR, just uploading it straight to YouTube, that works. If you want to edit in HDR, we actually have a great article on that talks about, and we also in the past worked with EPOS Vox to get some videos made on how to work with HDR video. You do need to, of course, have an HDR display, right? You need to have a way to preview it, that sort of thing. And ultra wide, we have that firmware update now available for 4K Pro. So take a look there at the new supported resolutions. But outside of that, unless there's any questions, I wasn't necessarily going to touch on it. That might be actually for a later stream. I mean, it's been a while since we've done like a ultra hardcore, super in-depth technical capture stream. So
that's going to be the name.
We ultra hardcore, super technical capture stream.
Yes.
Can we
we'll
send an email out? We'll post that all on socials and everywhere.
Yeah. It'll fit in the
But maybe we'll do one of those in the future, and we'll talk about all the stuff and show it and demo it, and yeah.
I also just want to bring up this thing from Tony because I saw people talking about badges. You're getting badges now. Queen in chat has the badge. I just got mine. If you guys see those cute little Elgato Week badges in chat, to unlock it, you just have to watch the stream for 3 hours, and then you're going to see it pop up under your custom badge for this channel tab under your chat appearance. I see you guys are already rocking them. I see Rob there. I see Very Oric has it. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. And that's a permanent unlock, by the way. So you get to just have that on the Elgato channel forever.
And it's something that you'll only have when you were here during Elgato Week.
Yes.
Once Elgato Week is over, no one else is going to have this badge. So
when our stream ends on Friday, that's it. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it. So make sure that you watch for 3 hours this week. It can also be our region streams too. So it can really be any of them. Raven's got an hour to go. All right, you're almost there. This badge, hey, you've got it. Perfect.
Maybe we can do something custom one day for badge holders. Like
For
VIP,
badge
like you walk in,
holders?
you're like, "Hi, I'm a
God.
badge holder."
I've got the badge. Actually.
Yeah, I'm VIP. Speaking of schedule, though, real quick pause in the question answering. We haven't talked about the schedule much. What else do we have going on the rest of the week, and when can they watch the stream, get questions and answers, and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so today we talked capture. Earlier today, you may have joined our awesome Spanish and German teams. So shout out to them for streaming earlier. I don't know, did you see yourself in Tomodachi Life by any chance? Did you
I need to go back and check.
You haven't seen anything about that yet?
No, I can't even pronounce the name right.
Oh my God. Okay, so if any of you were there earlier and saw Phil on the game and me on the game, you know what I'm talking about. Let's keep it secret, okay? You can go back to the VOD if you want to check that out. They did make a bunch of Elgato staff on the island. Then tomorrow, today we're talking Capture and Embrace. We're actually going to be joined by a guest here in a couple minutes who's super cool and ready to go. Tomorrow we're talking French, Portuguese, just general Elgato Week topics. And then in English, we're going into a Stream Deck showcase because those Stream Deck deals go live tomorrow. And I know you guys are excited about it. That poll also finishes tomorrow, the one on the website, and it's really looking like it's going to be Stream Deck Plus and XLR dock. So make sure to tune in tomorrow to learn more about that, and also all of our other Stream Deck products that are going to be on sale, and also just Stream Deck software. So if you already have a Stream Deck or you want to get Stream Deck Mobile, which is totally free for 6 keys on iOS and Android, you definitely want to join us tomorrow to learn more about how to use your Stream Deck to the max. And then on Friday, we'll have our German and Spanish streams again. And they're, again, just talking general Elgato Week, answering your questions in German and Spanish. And then we'll be live in English at 5 p.m. UTC, which is 10 a.m. PT in English to just talk about everything. Because on Friday, all the deals and the coupon code will unlock. All those marketplace deals will be live. So you will definitely want to tune in for that for any general questions and some just, demos across all of the products that we have for sale this week. So, yeah.
All right, let's go back to some more questions here.
I don't have that many more. I have a non-capture question from Pamiso who says, quick question about Embrace. They want to buy one, but Lightstrip Pro doesn't show us free unless they add 2 chairs to their cart. Just wondering if that's a condition. That might be a bug. I think it is just one Embrace to get that Lightstrip Pro, but I don't think it combos with the discount, which I think is why you might be seeing that. So what we can do is maybe if somebody here can just reach out to our web team and maybe we can get an answer for that and share it with you by the end of the stream, or you could join our Discord and ask the question there, and we'll try to get the answer for you. Which, by the way, all of you guys should join our Discord.
Yeah, sometimes, what happens is we have a sale, basically, which is one promotion, and then we have another bundle, which is that Lightstrip Pro. Those two might not work together, as in you can get the chair on sale, but then you can't stack that with the Lightstrip Pro.
Yep.
All right. Also, why wouldn't you want 2 Embrace chairs? One for each cheek.
Oh. Okay. Anyways, next question. We've got a question from Turd who says, when you use Camlink 4K, can you use it with a PS4 to project your game into your OBS?
You can, yeah. So Camlink 4K can take in the 1080p 60 video from a PS4. You can bring that right into OBS, and you can then, since there's no pass-through on the Camlink, you can just play from the OBS preview. Yeah.
Yep. 2 more questions. Can I use Elgato Capture Card to stream from mobile to a laptop?
You could, yeah. So if you have an iPhone or an Android device, you can take a USB-C to HDMI cable, adapter, and then bring that into a capture card, and then you can stream that out or record it. So that's actually the best way to get I almost said low quality, to get low latency, high quality video from your mobile device. There are sometimes solutions that are built in or that you can stream over Wi-Fi or whatever, but with HDMI, you're going to be solid there. In fact, there's some adapters that even have power going back into your device to keep it charged. So.
Yep. I have a long message here from Profit having an issue with their Game Capture Neo. Reach out to our support team. They'll get you sorted there. They'll answer your questions and help you figure out what's going on. But yeah, all right. All of that being said, that should be all the questions that I have queued up. We are going to continue answering questions for the rest of the stream, but we do have a really exciting segment coming up here. We are going to be talking with Too Chilly, who is a special guest, and to lead into that, we actually have a video from Too Chilly. So let's go ahead and check out that video, and we'll see you in just a moment.
Hi everyone, I'm 2X Chili, a content creator and streamer who loves playing games all while walking on a treadmill. And as a streamer, I want to make sure that my audience gets the best viewing experience possible, no matter what game I'm playing or what platforms I'm streaming on. That's why the Elgato Game Capture 4KX is the perfect device for me. Before I can show you why it's perfect in my gaming setup, let me make sure you know what the 4KX is capable of. This handheld capture card lets you record and broadcast practically anything that has an HDMI cable. For example, let's say I want to record my Nintendo Switch 2 gameplay. I would plug my HDMI into the Elgato Game Capture 4KX, then from the 4KX into my PC and monitor, allowing me to record and broadcast my gameplay wherever I'd like. Wow, so cool. And it's that easy. I can literally play all of my games with high quality and without any hiccups. And when I say all my games, I really mean it. Whether that's the Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, the Valve Steam Deck, a gaming PC, or even my Nintendo GameCube. Wow, so cool. Now, if your device has an HDMI output, the Elgato Game Capture 4KX should be able to cover you. Whether that's streaming, recording, or just playing on your PC, it'll handle what you throw at it. Wait, you're trying to play games at high resolutions and at high frame rates? Well, good thing the Elgato Game Capture 4KX has got you. With 4K in its name, this can capture up to 4K resolutions and at 144 frames per second. And as a content creator who loves to stream on multiple platforms at the same time, this capture card allows me to deliver the highest video quality to my audience. I love that I can squeeze a 1080p vertical stream as well as a 1440p widescreen scene all on the 4KX at the same time. Now, there's so much more to love about this capture card than its capture quality. For example, I love the fact that it has back-facing ports. Being able to slide the capture card up to the edge of my desk, hiding most of the cables, is a wonderful feeling. It's just nice to know that they care for cable management just like I do, which is funny coming from somebody who had atrocious cable management. Well, my streaming setup has leveled up a ton since then, and it wouldn't have been possible without Elgato and their great products, especially the Game Capture 4KX. All right. Well, that was a fun video to make. Thank you, Elgato, for giving me the opportunity to make a product showcase for the Elgato Game Capture 4KX. I just want to say goodbye. Take care now. Farewell.
He's muted, it shows. Oh, there we go.
Hey guys, how's it going? Didn't see you there. I'm just walking.
You guys hear?
I'm 2x Chili, someone that you've seen maybe playing Valorant on the treadmill. Anyways, I'm really happy to be here for Elgato Week, and I'm so excited that my co-hosts, James and Chibi Miharu,
No, what?
are here bringing me on.
Oh, are you guys ready? AirPods.
Just the mic.
Oh,
AirPods, push it.
it's default, yeah.
Yeah, how are you guys doing today?
Oh god. Hold on.
Not yet.
You can't hear my issue. Oh, you can hear us. Oh, okay. You can hear
Oh,
us.
I can hear
we
you
can't
guys,
hear you.
yes.
It's a me issue.
You can't
by
hear
the way. Let me let me try join back in.
In the web browser.
Hi guys,
Oh,
I'm
I
so
can't-
sorry. Hey guys. Hello?
No, I think
Um,
fine. Oh,
should we be able to hear me?
wait.
Hey guys, how's
Oh,
it
there
going?
we go.
Hi.
Let's
Hello,
go.
everybody. It's getting chilly in here. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hey everyone,
You might have seen-
how's it going? James here. I'm new host here. Of course, I've been here. Oh gosh, when's the last time I was on stream? It's been a while. But that was a great intro to Chili. We had a little bit of technical difficulties on our end, but we're fixing it now. So, but how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing
There you
great.
go.
How about yourself? I'm excited to be here doing Elgato stuff. Big
No, that was
fan of
a
the company for a while.
that
How
was
are
an
you
amazing
guys?
entrance, by the way. I just want to mention that because I was like, because okay, chat. If you guys didn't know, Too Chilly is literally on a treadmill right now, as you guys can see. And are you using Wavelength 3.0 right now?
I am using Wavelength 3.0. It's how you're able to hear me perfectly without hearing this beautiful fan on my side and the treadmill underneath me as I take each step.
That's
You guys
awesome.
want to hear without it real quick?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
give
gosh.
us a.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. I'm going to turn every filter off that I can imagine.
Oh my
Can you guys hear
Oh.
just how beautiful it sounds?
I feel like
We
I'm
can
at an
hear that.
airport.
We can hear the fan.
So-
We can hear the walk. That's a perfect example.
Honestly, that's actually
Yeah,
really
so-
someone clipped that. That's actually really good to hear. So what are you using for filters right now?
The filters that I have on right now, let me see if I can steal the screen from you guys. Bing. I've got the enhanced low cut filter. Oh, did my screen turn to the full screen?
You want full screen?
Give him the full
Boom.
screen.
Oh, and then let me go to my wavelength here. So on Wavelength 3.0 for my Wave 3 microphone, I've got the enhanced low cut hardware effects as well as voice focus put at around 82%, a compressor, EQ, and the noise removal. And that's how you're able to hear me stand here with the fan on while taking steps. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot, at least. So yeah,
Awesome.
cool. Thanks for having me on.
No,
Yeah.
thank you for being on. And then, because we're having some technical issues earlier, but for those guys who are new, welcome on in. My name is Jasmine. I'm their senior community specialist over at Elgato, and you guys might be seeing a new face that has appeared on today's live stream. 2 new faces, actually. Our amazing guest, Chili, and
I'm James. I'm the technical marketing team. I work alongside Phil and, of course, Jasmine and the rest of the hosts like Burrito. But, of course, I manage our Explorer page. So those articles that have been shared in the chat, I manage that. So happy to be here. This will be the first of hopefully many to come. So we'll definitely see my face around. I'm usually the one in the mod, so you'll see me as not James. I can't get my Yojimbo name, which I really wish I could, but we'll stick with not James for now.
not
Could
James,
we
but
also
actually
get
James.
Twitch chat by chance on the screen?
Oh, on the screen.
There
we go. Now we can
Perfect.
see. But we see all you guys right now. Morning. James
Big
McCloud.
Okay.
All right. So, Chili,
Ooh.
I do want to ask a question for you, though. Out of
Yes,
all the deals
away.
during Elgato Week or upcoming deals, which product is your favorite?
Ooh, I've got a ton of Elgato products, but I think my absolute favorite would have to be the Stream Deck Plus. I use it to do a ton of things on stream or off. It controls my lighting systems, everything you see here. It allows me to change the volume on the go, whether I'm streaming or not. So it's just super useful to me. I love having things that can work in as many applications as I wanted to. So that's just my choice.
W's. Do you have any of the attachments on it, like the add-ons, USB hub or XLR dock? Oh, probably USB
Not
hub. right?
yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Okay. All right, sweet. I think with that being said, chat throughout Chili's segment. If you guys have any questions, once again, just ask your questions in chat. I'll be queuing it up. And Chili, if you want to go ahead and showcase how you use Camlink 4K and 4KX.
Okay, sure thing. I'll go ahead and steal a bigger screen now, if you don't mind. Hi guys, full screen Chili here to talk to you about the Camlink 4K. Right now, you're actually seeing me through the Camlink 4K. I'm using a Sony mirrorless camera to get a nice high quality camera onto a Camlink 4K. It basically allows me to go ahead and plug it into the dongle, into the USB, and bam, nice high quality webcam for easy use. I've used it for streaming. I've used it for back at my old company. I would always get tons of compliments. They're like, your camera's looking super crisp over there, Chili. But yeah, I love it so much. Primary uses to show me. I love sharing my personality. I love sharing things that I get from random places. This is a Gengar that I love. It's near and dear. Let me show you my beautiful shirt. That's Animal Crossing. There's a lot of random stuff that is just so useful with a nice camera that allows me just to make the most out of my money. So I love the Camlink 4K. I even use it for not just cameras. Anything that has an HDMI output can basically be plugged into it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on stream, but I've gotten into home labbing a lot lately. So this is a mini computer. Sometimes I don't want to like plug it in to a monitor. I just want to plug it into my PC, check really quick if everything's working, and then unplug it whenever I'm done. So yeah, I love the Camlink 4K. Let me go. Do you guys have any questions about anything I've talked about? Otherwise, I'll go show some cool demos about how I use it in my stream setup.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Where do you get that amazing shirt at?
Yes, this shirt is by Kohi and Andy. It's KOHI ampersand ANDI, and they're half merchandise, half cat rescue. I have a shirt that I think a lot of their merchandise does 10% to their cat rescue. So big fan of their work. Honestly, it's just a great shirt too. Yeah.
I'll definitely will DM you after this to get that link because you had me at cat shelter or cat rescue because yeah, I'm a owner of 2 cats myself. So definitely hearing that, I'm all for that.
Awesome. And then I do want to say that Sean says that your whole room and production is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I spent a lot of time in it and on it. I got a chalkboard wall. I got my skateboards that I've painted. I think streaming, cameras, personality, those are my favorite things when it comes to joining someone's stream. I love to see little bits and pieces and notes of who they are. So I hope you guys can get a note of who I am.
Amazing.
Did you also paint the canvas behind you or just the skateboards?
If you're talking about the painting of me staring, yes, I did draw that.
That's amazing. 10 out of 10.
Amazing. Thank you.
All right. I think we're ready to see the showcase now.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Fingers crossed it works, but I got some very cool stuff for you. So I'm a content creator, not just a streamer, but I do stream to multiple platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and what you can do now on all of these platforms is stream vertically and horizontally. So without further ado, fingers crossed this works. Let's go ahead and showcase what my streams look like. Hopefully I don't just lag, but bing, is it clicking? Did it click? Yes, look, this is the, oh, it went back. Let me click one more time and I'll go back on screen shortly. There it is. Very cool. So this is what my vertical stream would look like. This is what people on TikTok or YouTube or Twitch, because Twitch is now doing beta versions for vertical streams. What you can do is use your beautiful 4K cam link. Whoa! This tiny little USB device is so gorgeous. It's perfect for basically any stream. I would recommend it. I use it all the time. Right? So I use it for my vertical live streams. Not only that, of course, I'm a video gamer, so I love adding my gameplay. Oops. I love adding my gameplay that is behind my monitor. Here's me playing Hollow Knight Silksong live. I just went to a boss room. Oh my goodness. Anyways.
Oh, lock in.
So
Lock in.
with the Cam Link 4K, lock in. I'm going to keep talking to chat and it'll be awesome. And not only that, you guys get to see me die on Elgato stream. Whoa.
That's really cool
with the
to
Cam
see
Link.
that. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh no, please interrupt. I welcome any and all compliments. Thank you. And then, so for vertical streams, you can even just do the 4KX full screen, show off just the gameplay. Maybe you're feeling a little sick. Maybe you're a little tired. You don't quite want to, show off all your personality at once. And lastly, because it's a vertical stream, sometimes people ask, what game are you playing? So you have a nice little banner down there, right over here. So, yeah. Also, hi, Miles. Hi, my chats, and all Elgato chats. So, yeah, this is what I use the Cam Link 4K and 4KX for mostly. These are great capture options, whether you're using it for your camera or your gaming. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Woohoo!
We have a question from Star over here. Star is asking, now, can you do a diagonal stream?
A diagonal stream.
Just rotate
I'll
this.
be
just rotate
diagonal
the
if that works. Maybe if Twitch or some platform allows it, but I don't see why not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are you doing all that right now? I'm assuming that was with Stream Deck.
Yes, I am actually using my Stream Deck Mark II. A lot of convoluted settings, but it looks very cool. If you think it's cool, type cool in chat.
Wait, I gotta type cool in chat too. What's your favorite Stream Deck plugin actually? Because we're gonna be talking all about Stream Deck in tomorrow's stream. So this is a little sneak peek of what chat can have an idea of what you can use it for.
Okay, my favorite Stream Deck plugin. I know there's a ton out there, but I think my absolute favorite. Okay, I'll give you a few just to throw out an idea for what you can do with the Stream Deck. I love using it for my lighting system. I can press a button and it turns on and off. Let me do that right now. Bing. I love looking good for you guys, but sometimes I also need to look for stuff in my room off stream, like I dropped my pencil or something. So just having a quick second right at my desk,
For gaming, I love the OBS plugins. When I'm streaming, especially being able to toggle on a source or a filter to do those cool movement transitions, genuinely a lifesaver. If you know streaming, you know alt tabbing to try and change things around, having a dedicated button on your desk to do what you want, when you want, it's a gorgeous thing. I love that. And then last, I can plug the Elgato Deal Week plugin. Woo! We love
Good call out.
deals.
Let's go.
Yeah, definitely check out that plugin if you haven't already. I know we've been talking about it, but it's a really cool plugin. I did see something earlier today that you guys were asking for sharing your wish list, which I think was a cool feature request for that. I'm curious I know we talked about it, but is there anything else you guys would love to see from that plugin? Of course, I know Phil and Brito covered it earlier, but we're always looking for feedback on how to improve that. So good call out there, Chili.
Yeah, great. And also, we also want to ask, is this plugin something you guys want to see more of in the future for more Elgato weeks, more Black Friday? All basically all the live streams that we do. Is this something you guys like to see? Would you like us to update it for the future? Put in all your feature requests, all your suggestions, your thought process. That way we know that if there's an interest in this, we can keep doing it. So we want to make sure it's worth the time for you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, so drop your thoughts in chat. Chat.
I'll drop mine on stream. I love the idea. I think Phil and Brito mentioned earlier that there might potentially be exclusive deals or additional deals for people who have the plugin. And I was raised a coupon hunter from my mother. That's how I have all these cool little knickknacks and not feel hurting on the wallet. So yeah, definitely like it. Big fan.
Well, just answered our real quick question at Vic. Jasmine's just AI. So
Yo, I am not AI.
she's just a machine.
No, I have a laptop over here, so I'm typing at the same time as I'm talking. That's why. So, so you can see my little laptop right here. I'm kind of in the chat over here, and then I'm also here. I'm real, James.
I hate to
very
break it
real.
to you guys, but she's not real.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, multitasking. But also, I want to ask you. I want to ask you, Chili. What is your favorite capture card?
Ooh, okay. Oh, I am glad you asked this question. Can I steal full screen from you? I might have
Of course.
another cool little showcase. All right. So I've been streaming for quite a long time now. I think maybe 12 years. Crazy. 9 years ago, there was a clip of me that went around. Someone clipped this of just me playing Super Smash Brothers Melee, and this is 9 years ago. Boom. But in the clip, I'm raising money for my very first capture card, an Elgato capture card. Thank you to my community for allowing me to get into Elgato.
Woo!
I thought it'd be cool to plug that in on stream. So 9 years later, I'm here doing Elgato stuff on Elgato week after who knows how long. So my first capture card was the Game Capture HD on Elgato, or from Elgato. But right now, my favorite capture card would be the Elgato 4KX.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was actually going to ask you too how long you've been streaming, so I'm glad you covered that. But yeah, it's your broadcast has been really cool to see. Random could sort of caught my eye. I'm sorry for going off topic here. That's a Simba cave drawing in the back there.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm so glad you said that. It's one of my
Random.
favorite drawings. Yes. No, I
have
appreciate
a
it.
tattoo of that same art right here on my arm, but we'll get back on topic. We'll talk about we got a lot to talk about after stream, of course. But we're here to talk about capture cards. Yeah. What about you? Do you use a capture card for VTubing?
I don't need it for VTubing, but when I'm
for stream images, yeah, of course.
If I'm using my Switch, then I'll use Game Capture Neo. That's what I use.
Yeah, that's a good one. 4KS, I think right now is one of my favorites. Of course, is for my Switch myself. 4KX is obviously our best external graphics card capture card that we have available via USB. So if you're looking for something high end, 4KX is definitely a great choice. Alongside 4K Pro, if you're looking for something more internal. What else can we ask Chili?
Oh no, there's actually more that Chili has to show for us. She's gonna go into the software. But I also do want to mention, 4KX? Chili's favorite capture card, and then 4KS. They're all on sale for Elgato Week, so make sure to hit that link. Go to our web store, check it out now, and also Camlink 4K too. Let's not forget that, which is what Chili is using, and then we're using Camlink Pro, which is no longer available. But yeah, Chili, if you want to go ahead and showcase off more of the software and also like the horizontal stream, because I remember I saw that little detail that you added, a nice little detail.
Yes. Of course. Let me show off my full screen gameplay for horizontal. Now this should load in. Boom, super smooth. Right now, you're just seeing the full screen me. This is the cam link. We get it, cam link. We love it. But what I want to show off is the 4KX. Right now, it should switch. Oh, bang. Yes, the 4KX. Right now, this is how I'm able to capture my gameplay. Right now, so if you don't know what a capture card is already, it allows you to take an HDMI output from your gaming console or gaming system. I'm capturing my computer right now. It allows you to capture that, to send it over to USB, and then broadcast it live on stream. Very gorgeous, very nice, lots of compliments. But not only that, with the capture card, it has an HDMI output so that you can essentially have a seamless setup here on your monitor and also capture footage right there on your computer. Super nice. It allows you to add footage onto an existing scene. And what I mean by that, a lot of systems now allow you to record a gameplay straight from the system, like the Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation, Xbox. But how many of them allow you to add a camera on top of that? Look at that. There's me and that tiny little camera in the corner. This is what drove me to streaming, to be able to broadcast my personality and my gameplay. So yeah, big fan of 4KX and the Link 4K. Let me know if you guys have any technical questions before I open up the software that allows us to navigate through the 4KX.
Real quick, I want to add on that because I'm glad you called that out. That's one cool thing about 4K or capture cards in general is you do get that customization. And then one thing too, if you are looking to get started, Marketplace actually has a lot of different overlays that are pre-made and ready to go, where you simply will just choose your capture card, your webcam, and then you're up and streaming. So definitely a major benefit of having one of our capture cards. And they also offer very low latency. So I know a lot of people don't even use the pass-through. They just simply have the single HDMI into their capture card and then playing the preview off of their computer nowadays. And that's another benefit of one of ours. But I think we could dive into the software. And I do see someone gave you a shout out that they got 2 products themselves.
By Calico Cake. So Calico Cake says, thanks to Chili, I got myself 2 Elgato products. Which 2 Elgato products did you get?
That's a great question.
Shout out Calico Cakey. Yay.
Woo! And then we also have another comment from Smeeji saying, I am clearly not using my Elgato products to their true potential. Always learn something new from every live stream that we do.
You got to definitely think outside the box. I definitely have seen some cases too where I'm just like, I had never thought of using this, and every day I feel like the community blows my mind.
Chili, someone just purchased a 4KX, by the way. It just popped up. Someone just purchased a 4KX. That timing when you're on stream, that's awesome. Calico
I was
Cake
thinking
says,
about that. I was like, please buy something on stream. I'd love to see that.
it was there. That's awesome. Calico Cake says that they got the 4KS and a Stream Deck.
Ooh, let's go.
Let's go.
2 great products. 2 great products.
I agree. All right, Chili, we're ready for you to showcase the software.
Cool. Let's go ahead and start off with the Elgato Studio. This is Elgato's newest version of their Capture Studio suite. You're going to see a little bit of extra, infinite mirrors look, I suppose, because right now it's capturing my gaming PC, sending it to the 4KX, which is now being sent to you guys through my streaming PC. You can see me moving this around. I have a 1440p monitor that does 240 hertz, which is perfect for the 4KX. It allows me to capture up to 4K 60, but I love high frame rates. At the moment, I know it could do tons of high frame rate too, but that's what I'm using right now. The cool thing about the Elgato Studio, you're able to record in various recording settings. If you're playing in 4K, you can set it to 2160p or 4K UHD. It allows you to set the frame rate of your recordings as well. So if you want to do some kind of cool slow-mo montage of you getting a great combo video or a great, I don't know, some awesome movements in your games, you can go ahead and take advantage of the high frame rate recording. You can also change the quality of the recording. This is going to affect the size of your file. I know how storage is right now, so I'm sure you can play around with that. But it's just really nice. It's super simple to use, set up. All you have to do, plug in your 4KX or your capture card onto your PC. It gets detected by Elgato Studio. And now you have all these fun settings. You can record. Hi Elgato stream, Elgato week on my computer now. Woo! You can take screenshots. Bang. And then you can, of course, play with the HDMI settings. You have auto, expand, shrink, the EDID modes, which I personally don't touch. I'm not quite sure what they do. James, Chibi, would you guys know what these things do?
Yeah, so the EDID is essentially just telling the graphics card what it should do for the resolution. So it's grabbing, it's like think of it like a handshake of what it's agreeing upon. So it'll combine and compare like, hey, what should I use? And it'll essentially start from the top and go down and then find a setting that works best. So display is going to go off of display. The internal will just look at the capture card itself, and then merge will essentially combine the two. I typically leave it on display myself, and then I don't even touch the HDMI color range. Like Phil was mentioning, I just keep it on auto on that.
I agree. I'm a big fan of auto, big fan of plug and play, which is why I love Elgato products. And then, yes, so when you plug in your gaming system to your capture card, you can use your audio input from the HDMI. It also has the analog audio if you want to plug in an external aux port from, let's say, your PlayStation controller, your Xbox controller. You can use, I think it's called the split link, to capture your HDMI audio. To capture your gaming audio. I personally use the HDMI audio myself, and that's how I'm able to broadcast everything from my gaming computer from Wavelink to my streaming computer. So, big fan of simple software. I use this in conjunction with OBS for my streaming needs, for my gaming needs. Let me bring it back to full screen Chili, and let's hear from James and Chibi, or chat if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, of course. Like just going back to the audio, if HDMI, of course, for most people is going to work best. If you're using if you get a new one of our capture cards right now, you get ChatLink Pro, where you can switch it to analog if you're trying to capture, like on PlayStation in particular, like your party chat or your game chat directly on there. But if you're doing like a single player game, really just keep it on HDMI and then have the audio going over to your capture card and you're good to go. What's cool too with Elgato Studio is you can obviously hear the game itself, so you can have your headset plugged into your computer. Of course, Phil mentioned a little bit of a slight delay, but honestly, it's hard for me to even notice it. The only time I would probably not use the preview is like games like Call of Duty if you're trying to be min-maxy. But even then, if you're just playing like the single player, it's pretty good. It's honestly is good enough for that. I think the only time personally I also would not do it's for fighting games. But even then, even something more casual is good because some of those fighting games are more frame perfect. But honestly, it still surprises me how low latency the audio and actual input is from our capture cards to what you see on screen. But obviously, you can bypass. You don't have to worry about any of that if you're using the pass through of the capture card, where the audio or the video will be perfectly in sync with what you see normally.
Yeah, and then we also have a quick little comment from Smeegy saying, I always like watching Chili talking about his setup. How
You
often
guys
do you
are
talk
so
about your
sweet.
setup during your stream?
Lately, I've been talking about it a ton because I've been trying to fix a lot of my stuff or make it more efficient. So I've always just been like, I could do this and then save this and not worry about these setups. The biggest one lately has been trying to get the treadmill working on stream. So yeah, that one's been a big point of me just talking about my setup and my various things that come with the streaming. If you're a streamer, you know how how fun it is to get everything working, and just how fun it is to try and get everything working when it's supposed to.
Oh no, nope, we know that for sure. Tell us about it. I think every streamer knows the pain.
Yeah. Jill and I were talking before this too, and I was honestly impressed with his setup and what he's doing. We could probably talk hours about his setup.
We should talk about it then. Actually, Chili, you want to talk more about your setup on the Elgato stream? Like,
So one thing, of course, I don't think you mentioned yet, but you are doing a dual PC setup, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
And how are you achieving that right now? Are you using one of our capture cards, of course, to or so if you want to cover a little bit about that, I think that'd be really cool. Well, obviously,
Yes.
this is more of an advanced setup for someone doing dual PC setups. I do want to call out one thing too, because I know I don't think it's really been talked about. Obviously, a capture card is great for consoles, but if you're doing a single PC, there's really no benefits if you're trying to capture and record on your single PC. But in this setup, where you have two PCs, it comes in actually really handy. But yeah, Chili, if you want to take that away.
Certainly. Yeah, I love technology. I've always been a big fan ever since I learned how to modify my Nintendo Wii. So having a dual PC stream setup just called to me. I want to make sure that my stream quality looks crisp, high FPS, no tearing. And also when I'm playing my games, I don't want OBS to steal all the resources away from my gaming PC. That's why I love using the stream setup, the dual PC stream setup, where I'm basically taking the gameplay from my PC, the gaming PC, sending it over to this little stream PC over here through the Elgato 4KX. And genuinely, it's been a lot more enjoyable. It makes it more complex to set up to get your audio sent over through all the channels, etc. But I've had nothing but success. I stream to TikTok, YouTube, Twitch vertical, YouTube vertical, TikTok vertical. So having a ton of streams and coding on your graphics card, as well as playing games, I've had a lot of moments where I realized that I lost a life in Elden Ring because I was streaming to so many things, or I realized that my computer crashes every now and then because it's just trying to send so many encoding sessions. That's why I employ the dual PC stream. Yeah.
What capture card are you using for that currently?
Yes. I'm using the Elgato 4KX. It's to allow me to capture my 1440p monitor at high frame rate, mirror it and clone it to the 4KX. And then I have, that's my main capture card. I have a HD60X just for my Nintendo Switch 2 that I then plug onto my gaming computer, which then also gets set to my 4KX. So yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah, 4KX, of course, you briefly touch on it, but what's cool about a dual PC setup, especially for 1440p, it supports up to 144 in a pass-through, and even at 4K, you can go to 144. So, of course, like on consoles for like a PlayStation 4K 120 is perfect, but if you're doing like a dual PC setup here like Chili, then you can also get up to 144, which a lot of 1440p monitors are around that. Of course, there's some higher ones. But 1440, I think, is or 144 is perfect for me in my setup currently as well. What else can we talk about? I'm trying to think. I haven't seen any new questions. Of course, I know.
There's still a lot more a setup for Chili, you know?
Oh,
yeah, because I was like,
let's talk more about your setup. I love
yeah,
to see
because I was like,
Yeah,
I want to hear
sure.
more about like the full setup, right? Not just like the capture card
Ooh.
version, like the dual PC. So, like, you know, Chili, you talk a lot about how like you have so much to talk about for your setup, to your stream, to your chat. And I was like, you know, I want to learn more about it. Like, I want to hear the full details on what you can have going on there.
Okay. I have so much to talk about. I'm excited. I don't even know where to start. I have wireless earphones because when you're walking on the treadmill and gaming, sometimes you build up so much static electricity that it could cause an interference with maybe one of your microphones or your computer, and your computer turns off. So having these separate and not directly grounding you to one of the computer items is definitely something crazy. I know there's so much to talk about. Let me show you the personality thing. This hat right here. This is a crown. It's just a showcase, a part of my life. I was prom king. I peaked in high school. # peaked in high school.
No, you're still peaking.
Just having it is cool. I love having the Elgato products that allow me to paint. I've done, well, showcase me painting. I loved doing a painting streams where I don't know.
Ooh.
I did
I
this. This
remember
is a
seeing
Valorant
this.
item. It's super cute. One of my favorite banners. Eventually I'll deliver it to Riot headquarters, and then I made a Vinny version for me or Riot, whichever one they'll take. It's just two of the same little skateboard, and being able to stream with nice quality, showing off all the little details in my skateboard, painting, hobbies, etc. Yeah, I just love being able to do these things and then showcase it as like a room decoration for my stream.
So whoever has a family member that works at Riot, they should definitely hit up Chili.
That's
on
awesome.
that.
Oh, someone did you have an
Oh, look
alert
at
on your
that.
stream?
Is that a subscription?
Thanks for the follow, Sparky Petunia. Let me make sure.
Wait, put him
I
on
have
full
those
screen.
all.
Chat, go follow to Chili. Go follow him. Go follow him. Right.
My bad.
So,
guys. That's so
you have-
funny.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, no. I want to see that alert again. We didn't have the full screen there. All right, chat, go follow him. Click that link.
Do your worst.
Do an hour.
Ah,
Do your
stream.
worst. That's crazy. Speeches says, "Are you following?"
Well, unfollow and refollow. No, just
They're
kidding.
probably
That's
all
crazy.
just following
Oh, there
me.
you go. There
There
we
it is.
go.
Tony,
There we
thank you
go.
for the follow. Dolphin Chicken, Keeks. Thank you,
I like
guys.
the Kirby's too.
There
I'm a
you
big
go.
fan of Kirby.
Oh yeah. Look at it
Yeah,
go.
so I've been
Right
streaming for a
idea.
super long time. This is Stream Sunday. Thanks for the follow. Thank you for the
There's so
follow.
many follows that you're starting to lag now.
We're crashing him.
You're
We're
crashing your
Chili.
chat. Hold up.
All right, pause
chat.
it. Okay, we can pause now.
Hold chat. Hold.
We can pause it now.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I've been using these alerts for a very long time. I think that's just another personality quirk in my setup. Is something that I chose when I was, 9 years old or 12 years younger. Sorry. Just a big fan of Nintendo. I'm wearing Animal Crossing shirt. I've got various Nintendo themed things in my stream. So yeah, thank you for the shout out to follow as well. I appreciate that. Let me know. Let me know if you have any questions about anything in my stream setup. I genuinely have fun going on. This is
Okay.
Am I allowed to say
Alright.
my sponsor for an exercise thing?
You're exercising? I mean, sure. Exercise that works, yeah.
I'm sponsored by Peloton. They liked my walking while gaming stream setup, and yeah, they gave me a bike. They gave me a treadmill that's in another room, but this is my gaming chair walk pad that I have here.
That's awesome. Oh, someone in chat. Oh, sorry. No, go ahead before I ask the question.
And then last thing about the stream, something that I wanted to lab. I have a home lab server running a localized Firefox or Linux thing where I can control everything here and send it over through this. So I can display things now on stream in the background if I ever make a video or want you guys to see something without actually pulling up in a video. So yeah, last thing.
Awesome. Oh. One moment as we.
Oh, we're back.
Okay, sweet.
The static electricity came into play there.
All right, I think things should be fixed now. But also for everyone in chat, just so you guys know, if you guys want to check out too Chili streams a lot on many platforms, as he mentioned, so you can see the full quality there. Every time we play Valorant together, we'll always get comments on both of our mics because we both use Wave 3. And they'll be like, wow, Chili, your mic sounds amazing. Well, Sage, your mic sounds amazing, because they don't know my real name in game, right? So they usually call me like the agent player or agent that I'm playing. So it'll be really cool. So I really recommend checking him out if you guys want to see the full quality. If you guys have any dual PC questions, Chili would be one of the best creators to go to because he's got a dual PC setup that he's been cooking for so long. And yeah, also ask your questions in chat. I did see a question earlier for Chili here. Let me go ahead and bring this up. So Smeeji was asking, do you use voice focus as well? Because they can't remember.
Yes, I do use voice focus as well. When I'm walking on the treadmill, and I'll do that right now, I don't want you guys to hear me stepping each step. I don't want you guys to hear the squeaking of the belt. I don't want you to hear the fan as so much. So I have voice focus and a few other things like compressor, Elgato EQ, and now you guys can hear what it sounds like.
I can hear that. Yep.
Not the greatest sounds, not what I want my stream to be known for. So now I have this, which allows me to talk to you guys, sing a song, la di da di da. I don't know a song out of
You
head.
should have joined us for karaoke
But-
night.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. 'Cause I remember when I first met you, right? I was like, wow, he plays Valorant on a treadmill. And then when I saw that you use Wave 3, I was like, oh my God, like I can't hear any noise from your treadmill, you running at all. Like your voice sounds so crisp. It was insane. And I was like, I'm so happy that you're able to showcase that here because that's a big difference, a very big difference there.
I'm happy that you guys released this product because before this Wavelength 3, or before I got into the foray of Elgato microphone products, setting up your own like audio chain to make sure that it doesn't hear a fan, it doesn't hear the keyboard clacking, it doesn't hear your computer or you coughing, stepping was insanely tough. I feel like I was always adjusting the audio chain. So when Wave 2 came out, Wave 3 came out with voice focus, compressors, and etc. You guys saved my life. It's just one less thing to worry about with streaming and my cool stream setup.
Let's go. And he's going to be getting a Wave 3 Mark II on the way soon.
Just to add, of course, Wavelink is completely free. You can get it easy with any kind of microphone, and you don't have to use an Elgato mic to get these kind of different effects, like an equalizer. We actually it supports third-party VSTs or AUs on Mac, and we also have them available on Marketplace. So if you're looking to get some different kind of audio effects for your setup, you could definitely check out Marketplace and get some there for free, and get your mic sounding as good as Chili's here. So you don't. I mean, obviously, we think you should get a Elgato microphone, but if you're hesitant, you want to wait a little bit longer, or wait for that next payday, definitely check out the Marketplace and check out those audio effects there.
Agreed. And then we do have a question for you, Chili, from Cookie Bates. They're wondering, how do you set up your vertical streams?
Oh, yes. Let me show you. If you use OBS as your main streaming software,
screen.
I would recommend full screen. Bing. Thank you for the gifted sub, Tony.
got
I
a
appreciate
sub.
that. Thank you for the follows as well. So over here, I'll pull OBS onto the side. Bing. Sorry if the stream gets a little smaller and it's harder to see, but trying to avoid my own camera. But essentially what I use is Item Vertical, which is an OBS plugin that allows you to have two canvases. Here's your main canvas that you're probably very familiar with. And then here is the vertical canvas that allows you to then bring that into other programs or stream directly. I have it set up for my Twitch stream. I have it set up for vertical YouTube and then TikTok live as well, just on this profile. But yeah, it's super useful. It's a free software. Would highly recommend it. I think they make great stuff. It's the closest thing to OBS that isn't quite OBS that's in OBS, if that makes any sense. And I love that it is like that. So that's how I do my vertical streams. You can, of course, set this up on TikTok Studio if you just want to stream to TikTok Studio. But if you're streaming to YouTube, streaming to Twitch Vertical, I would highly recommend using OBS plus Atom Vertical.
Awesome. Thank you for showing us that, Chili. I like how this just all the follows on the side. Nice. Cookie Bait also says thank you. But yeah, chat, if you have any questions for Chili, feel free to ask him here and ask him during the stream too. Give him a follow because he's got all that knowledge for you guys for for dual PC setup and his really crazy setup actually. I also saw, I think I remember, do you use Wavecast?
I do use Wavecast. So right now the microphone's actually plugged into my streaming PC, but the audio you're hearing is sent to my gaming PC, which is now being broadcast to you guys at home and Elgato Week. What Wavecast is it's, if there's two PCs, one's your gaming one, one's your streaming one, it allows it to talk over the network, share, handshake, and then essentially send the audio signals across each other. So my stream can hear my microphone, my Wave 3 directly to the stream. And then if I'm playing a game and I want to make sure my teammates can hear me, and when on my gaming PC,
that allows me to send that audio to my microphones in the game. So Wavecast, super nice. Big fan. Thank you, Elgato, for allowing me to have that product. It is such a save too, because before then, I mean, I still do this now. If you want to do a dual PC setup, sending audio between computers is probably one of the toughest things, especially if you want to do multiple channels. So being able to just do it through a network, a program, super simple. It's really nice. I actually highly recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest, I don't want to say complaint, but the biggest thing I see with dual PC setup is usually always audio. I guess even a single PC setup, it seems to be audio is always such a pain in the neck sometimes. So Wavecast, of course, is designed to make it super easy, where you simply just download software. You don't have to deal with any kind of cables. You just simply download it on both of your computers. And what's cool is it'll automatically detect the other PCs when you're running Wavecast. You don't have to type in like any kind of like IP address or host names. It just picks it up and says, "Hey, we're sending audio over," and you can choose to send the microphone back to your main computer as well as needed. Or of course you could choose what if you wanted to single it to a single application or all your audio on your computer. It's really easy with just a couple of drop downs. Yeah, audio is usually always a problem. People are like, "Oh, I look great," but then the audio is, and as we've, we're not talking about microphones, but audio, which is one of those things where if it sounds terrible, a lot of people are just going to turn off your stream and move on to the next one.
And then we do have a question from Kino Toad to Chili. How many and what kind of stream decks do you use?
Okay, I love that question. Let me bring you guys down a little bit to show you my streaming PC.
Let's do a full screen again.
Full screen, you're so right. This is the original Stream Deck from way back whenever it was released. I remember buying it, I think, in college. So I was like, I'm going to become the coolest streamer. And then I focused on college. But this is my very first Stream Deck. Still have it today. One of my favorites, but it has been relegated to just the Stream PC for now. I would love to be able to show you guys these ones, but I've got like super strict cable management. Let me see. Maybe I could take a picture and then just show you guys.
That works.
We can always, too, if anything, pull up the Shrinic software and we can show some of your setups.
Sure. Yeah. So to list it all, let me go get a chair. I've been standing this whole time.
You do inspire me to actually getting a treadmill and a standing desk just so I can actually do what you're doing, because I play a lot of Marvel Rivals lately. And I'm just like, man, I really need to go do a little bit of workout instead of just sitting all day on my beautiful Embrace chair, by the way, which we'll be covering.
Before I get into more stream decks, what rank are you in Marvel Rivals? Because I hit GM1 while walking on the treadmill.
What?
Before I stopped playing.
So right now, I was diamond, and I've been trying to get back there. So I'm like hard stuck plat 1 at the moment. So that's where I've been. I just need to just get over that grind or that little hill there and get back in the diamond. But yeah, that's the heights I've ever been.
Okay. We'll get there.
Look at you go.
If you'll play. But yeah, stream decks. So I just showed you the Stream Deck OG. I upgraded to the Stream Deck Mark II, which I'm holding in my hand, but you can't quite see. And then the Stream Deck XL. This one you can actually see as well. I love all of them equally. I love that they come in black and white personally, because I love the black mouse pad, black microphone setup, but then like white peripherals. I think it looks super sleek to me. So the Elgato Stream Decks, those are the ones I have, and I can show off some of the Stream Deck software, things that I have set up. Oh, I also have Stream Deck Mobile, because sometimes if I'm riding my bike or I'm away from my computer, just having something you can quickly change scenes with is super nice. I don't pay for it. I use the free version too. It's all I need, at least. But yeah, any questions before I move to the Stream Deck software?
I do want to call out Shrinic Mobile real quick. I'm glad you called it out. Of course, like Chili said, you get 6 keys for free. One cool thing that we offer is you can actually purchase a lifetime license for that, so you don't have to do a subscription. I know a lot of there's so many subscriptions nowadays. I believe it's $50. I could be wrong on that, but it sounds like it's like, I think it's $50. You can get up to 64 keys, and it was cool, of course, like with any app, like on iOS or Android, you'll be able to use it like on your tablet, as long as it's on the same platform, of course. So if you have an iPad, an iPhone, you'll be able to use it all in there and sync your profiles. You'll be able to copy, I should say sync, but copy your profiles if needed, which is really nice. Alongside the customization. But one thing too is I actually used to carry, I know we're not talking about Stream Deck, but I just want to call it Stream Deck Mobile here. I used to carry a 15 key, the OG one, like you have there on my backpack. But now with Stream Deck Mobile, you can actually plug in via USB to your phone and use it there on your computer. So you don't even have to worry about using a Wi-Fi. So a cool little feature on that if you're not aware. But you can also just use it via USB. You don't even need to use Wi-Fi. But moving on, of course, we'll go back to your setup.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Doing it through USB. I love my physical hardware, but let me show you the software of my physical hardware. Let me go to a full screen setup. You're going to see my Stream Deck software here in just a moment once it goes, and go now to the streaming full screen game. 1 second. And here we are. This is my Stream Deck software. Let me know if you guys can see it.
We see it.
I'll try making it as large as we can. This is Uwu, my Stream Deck XL. I love the name. I love being able to just quickly toggle through the screen by swiping. You can just swipe the little faceplate, touchpad, and then now you have the touch strip. And then you can control tons of things. I use it personally. If you look over here, I've got all of these mixes on my Wavelink software, and just touching it allows me to mute that specific channel. If I don't want to, if people in my Valorant games are being really rude to me or saying unpleasant things, I can just mute them really quick. If the game's getting too loud, I of course can press the dial and raise this game up super loud or quiet depending on what the stream needs. Stream Deck Plus, yes. Did I misspeak? My bad. But it's super useful. There's tons of plugins I can get to. I've got the Camera Hub plugin, which allows me to control the teleprompter here. Super useful if you want to change the display or chat or scroll on any text if you're reading for a video. I've got a stream counter just in case I need something to tick up, like my miles whenever I'm walking. Discord soundboard, so you can go in Discord. There's just a ton of things. Lights as well. I can turn off the lights, turn it back on. Very nice. I love my Stream Decks. Yeah, that's probably just some of the features. Is there any plugins that you guys absolutely love from the Elgato Marketplace, or some that you would recommend me to have?
We'll see what chat says. But yeah, thank you for answering Kino Toad's question. So hopefully Kino Toad that answers how many he has and a quick little showcase of how he uses it. But it's awesome.
And tomorrow we'll be going
More
super
details.
in depth of Stream Deck.
So
that's just,
much to showcase.
That's just scratching the surface, but just wait till our tomorrow stream as well. We'll be doing a super deep dive on that, which I'm actually really excited about.
I'm very excited for that too.
I'm trying to resist talking about Stream Deck because, of course, the focus today is about captures and brace, but I am excited for that stream.
We can mention a little bit because tomorrow's stream, that was a question from chat, so we answered it. And Chili here uses Stream Deck as well. Like he mentioned, this one of his favorite Elgato products. Speaking of which, how many Elgato products do you have right now, Chili?
Oh, great question.
Which ones do you have as well?
I'll just list them out and you guys count for me. That's okay.
There, right at the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got the pop filter, the mic, the shock mount looks like too, right? And then the mic arm. So there's 4 right there alone.
Oh, actually, here, I have the list. I have the list that he sent me. So Chili has, we could talk about Prompter too, because you also use Prompter, and Prompter is also on sale. So Chili has 4KX, Camlink 4K, HD60X, Wave 3, Wave Mic Arm Pro, Stream Deck OG, Stream Deck Mark II, Stream Deck Plus, and a Prompter. So Chili, if you actually want to talk about use case scenario for Prompter, how do you use Prompter?
Yeah, I love using the teleprompter because I don't know if you guys have this issue, but talking into the circular disc lens of like a camera sometimes just doesn't feel super personal. So being able to see yourself and what you're doing and motioning, moving, it feels like I'm having conversation with chat. Yeah, it's super nice. I made this cool little thing for my teleprompter too, so that I can see what like scene I'm on as well if I'm streaming and I don't have a monitor connected to my stream. Really nice. You can do a ton with it. Let me see if I could pull it up. Ding, 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 ding. Just the teleprompter. Oh, let's hide chat really quick.
Flex those follows.
Boom. Sorry, guys. I'm popular. I know how it is. So on my teleprompter here, I like being able to just have a quick display of what chat is seeing. So if I plus a button on my Steam Deck, boom, it should switch to gameplay. And it's not. Unfortunately, for some reason, it just doesn't want to do that right now. But essentially, I have this current scene that pops up here, and it shows me like what exactly I'm looking at. If it's just chatting, just starting stream, my gameplay. So I'll always have a notice of it, no matter what I'm doing. I don't have to alt tab to my second monitor. I have a display here at my ante, and then I'm gonna flex the chat again one more time. If you guys were typing in my chat, I would be able to see like notifications. I'd be like, oh, Mashimon, Gamer Debbie, Roth Sathi, Jonathan, Opti, Coffee, Sue, Judy, Tony, Person of Hope. I'd be able to see your guys' follows, be able to see your guys' chats just from here and be able to talk with you guys without having to do this. Thank you for the follow. You know, nothing wrong with that. But when I'm walking, sometimes if I look over a little too much, I can feel my neck crane. So just having it really quick to the camera, super nice. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, that's been one of my favorite things with the Elgato teleprompter. And of course, you have a whole suite of software that you can take advantage of it with text going through the screen and etc. I don't know how to showcase that exactly, but I've definitely used it in a few videos of mine that I'm working on, soon TM to be released. So it's really nice. Big fan of the teleprompter. Yeah.
Awesome. No, thank you for showing us. That was really great. It sounds great just seeing like how you personally use it, especially because like your setup is so like really. What's the word? That's a word I'm looking for.
Inspirational?
Inspirational, but also it's like techie, very techie.
Techie?
This is another word I was looking for. That's not techie. But it's like, it's like hard, you know, like. Very
hard is a good word. Yeah.
No, that's not the word though. I can't. It lost me. It's lost. It's gone. It's gone. I had a word, but it's gone. Tony wants to know, what is your stream schedule?
Hello, Tony. I am getting back into streaming. I had to fix my treadmill for the longest time because of that static electricity issue, but I'm planning on doing mornings on Tuesday, Thursdays, and then evenings on Wednesday and Friday. Time exactly, not sure. Join my Discord or follow my social.
Awesome. And then we have a question from Jonathan who says, can Stream Deck switch between different Stream Decks? I have 2 PCs and 2 different Stream Decks.
So you can switch if it's on that computer. You can switch it. The other way, if you want to control from a secondary PC, would have to be like via Stream Deck Mobile. So you can switch profiles. You could choose, like say we have a Stream Deck Plus right here, and we want to control a second Stream Deck. Imagine we had a second Stream Deck here. We can set up a key on here to switch profiles on this other Stream Deck and vice versa. So that's how, but of course that's locally on that one PC. Now, if you want to control, let's say you want to control different Stream Deck away from you, for someone else, you have to consider like Stream Deck Mobile for that.
Awesome. And then I believe that is all the questions we have from chat, but I just want to thank you. Thank you so much, Chili, for being here and like showcasing how you personally use ClamLink 4K, how you use 4KX, and showing us a whole like deep dive of how you personally have your setup. Like that was so cool to see, like you on a treadmill, your Wave 3, Wavelink 3.0 that you use as well, and then prompter usage and like showcasing how you do vertical streams. Like Chili, that's a really awesome stuff you have. If you guys are ever looking or having questions about like how you guys can multi-stream, dual PC stream, or how to use Wavecast, go check out Chili. You guys can see like the full quality on his stream because everything is gonna be, he's great. He's a great streamer, content creator. Make sure you go check him out, give him a follow. I see Dolphy. See you soon. Yeah, can we get all the hearts in chat for Chili, please? Like, thank you, Chili. It was a pleasure having you on. But for those of you guys who are new or just tuning in, before we move on to the next segment, Chili, give yourself a little introduction again to the chat and where they can find you, your schedule once more, and what type of content you make. If we can switch to full screen for Chili here.
Hey guys, I'm 2x Chili, maybe one of the most beautiful streamers out there. Hey, I like to walk on the treadmill and play some Valorant, especially Valorant, but I play tons of games. I played Elden Ring, etc. You can find me at 2x Chili on almost every platform. That's twitch.tv/2xchili, tiktok.com @2xchili, Instagram, YouTube, etc. This is going to be a fun year, so I'm excited to see you guys there. Otherwise, drop a follow to Elgato or me or any other of these other cool creators as well. So yeah, very cool. Thank you guys. Elgato hearts in chat, W's in chat. Shout out to everyone that's been here, and thanks Elgato for bringing me on. Really cool that I get to do all this all these years later after my first Elgato product. So yeah.
Awesome.
Woo.
It's been a pleasure, Chili. Thank you so
It's been a
much for
pleasure.
being here and hanging out with us and showing us your setup. I definitely, of course, I know chat was super happy to see what you have to show, and honestly, it's really inspiring. I know we talked a couple of days ago, but even just seeing your setup, and that's honestly, I feel like we just scratched the surface. There's so much that you do, but honestly, a great showcase.
Yeah, Tony says, great segment. We got so many hearts in the chat. I saw a lot of great comments from chat too. They're like, we love seeing Chili stuff. This is awesome. This is inspirational, Like, W. Thank you so much again, Chili. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. And let's hit up our Embrace video. This is going to be a really quick video for you guys to see. You guys will be able to see how we set up Embrace really fast. Oh, there we go.
We're back again.
We're back again. Do you guys see how easy that was to set up Embrace? That's actually insane, right? So now we're here to showcase and tell you guys everything about Embrace. James, you want to talk about what is Embrace?
Yeah, so Embrace is our ergonomic chair that we introduced. Oh gosh, how long has it been now? I don't even remember exactly when we released it, but it's super easy to set up. I personally use it at home and love it. It's a great chair where you can adjust the headrest. You can adjust. It has a mesh back, so you can see here, it's a mesh finish right here. The cushion is not mesh, which I actually am a big fan of. I used to have a different ergonomic chair where it was a mesh bottom, and I found that long periods of time was really uncomfortable. But now with the cushion bottom, it's really comfortable. I not gonna lie, on the weekends I did not leave my apartment. I just sit on my computer pretty much all day, and I find myself not being sore at all. And look at this beautiful zoom in. One thing too is really nice is that we don't have we have our logo on the back just, so it's very subtle. You can adjust the lumbar support there. You see on the very bottom down there. The armrests are 4D armrests. I don't know, Jazz, you want to just move the armrests a little bit back there to show it off, or on the bus. You can see Jasmine's over here, crisscross applesauce. I feel like I'm back in kindergarten.
Wait.
Just adjust the armrest to show the armrest there. Or we can just show it on mine too here. So you can adjust it as 4D. Goes back and forward or left and right. They're adjustable as well. So you can raise them up and down if needed, which I personally, I find myself doing that a lot. You can lean back in them. So one thing, this one now is set to be not exact. I got to pull up the angles as well. But you can adjust it to go way back. So I find myself when I'm watching, when I'm on Discord watching movies, I typically will have it all the way back, and it's super relaxing. You can also adjust the tension as well, which is really nice. So if I just simply find the lever.
Yeah, Fox says, ooh, it's crisscross applesauce friendly. That's an important criteria. Yes, wait, let me take off my shoes because when you're crisscross, you're not wearing shoes in your house, unless you guys are. But here, on. Crisscross applesauce, James.
Oh gosh, I'm getting old. It's gonna hurt me.
Oh, I gotta move my laptop.
I typically wouldn't do this with shoes. I feel really. I don't want to take my shoes off. Ugh. So I'm now in a sorta crisscross applesauce. I honestly, personally, when I'm at home, I typically am honestly, I do sit on one leg. I don't know if anyone else does that in chat, but I typically find myself just literally just sitting on one leg. I don't know why, but even then, I find myself still comfortable in that sense. So you can adjust the tension as well if needed. So if you don't want to have so much tension when you push it back on that, that's one thing that's really nice about this chair. Of course, we talked about it earlier. The headrest is removable, so you don't need to have the headrest if you want. I'm personally a big fan, especially when I'm sitting back and laying back on the chair. I think it's super comfortable for that purpose. Of course, when I'm gaming, I typically don't find myself using it as much, so it all comes down to your use case. I think one thing I really like about our chair as well is it doesn't. You can see it like an office environment. It looks really good at home as well. Of course, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the gaming chairs, but I find myself that I prefer more of an ergonomic chair. It's very, honestly, easy to set up. I just saw in the video. It takes literally like probably a minute at most. I think the only thing that takes the longest is putting the casters on the bottom. That's really the longest part, and it's not even hard. It has high spin rate, so you get better frames per second due to it. There's no RGB, so you do lose a little bit of frames on that, I guess, right? I guess I always say if you have RGB, you get more frames. You can obviously raise it, lower it, down, you can go up. Let me get up. And be comfortable, like Jasmine is over here, just spinning around and being comfortable.
Hey, I'm showing chat. I'm crisscross applesauce right now, and
Oh,
I'm
okay.
spinning around. I gotta show them what you can do.
One thing too, let me just pull it up. I want to make sure I get these numbers right. If I remember correctly, it supports up to 275 pounds and then 125 kilos. But let me double check that. That's just off of memory. Of course, what's nice about our website, it has all this information at the very bottom for tech specs. Yep, so 125 kilos and 275 pounds of supports. The chair itself weighs about 53 pounds once it's fully set up, which I've even have my chair at home has gone, and these are also the different angles, but I've carried this chair around to different places for moving, and it's honestly very nice and easy to do. So backstop angles, so I was sort of mentioning earlier, so obviously this is 0 degrees. You could do 10, 15, 25, and 30. It has a waterfall edge as well. So I know Brito mentioned it earlier. That is, she likes to have her feet dangling.
Me too.
I don't know how you guys do that personally.
You don't like to have your feet dangling?
No, I feel like a kid. Like in a booster seat.
Chat, do you guys like to have your feet dangling? Put 1 for yes, 2 for no.
So 1, 2, of course, again, if you want to find this information, we have the text at the very bottom. We also have some guides as well covering the startup and how to set it up. Obviously, though, we also have the video on here that just goes through this whole process. And it's super simple.
Real quick, James. Sean, we like to have Sean handhold the camera as we go through the features of Embrace. So do you mind going over from talking about from the top to the bottom, and then Brito is going to go ahead and adjust the options on the chair in the back.
Yeah, perfect. So we'll start with the headrest first there, of course. So we have the optional headrest there. Beautiful camera work by Sean, honestly. Adjustable up and down, as you can see. Then you have, can you remove it real quick too, just to show? Oh yeah, I forgot there's a couple of screws in there. So there's a couple of screws. That's really, if I can remember correctly, I think those are the only screws you had to deal with. Is just this for the headrest, so just super easy to install. Just 2 screws there. Then we'll go with just the mesh back since we're right there already. So it has the airy backrest. So Very nice, especially for like long sessions. I personally am usually using like a hoodie or something, and I honestly feel myself very comfortable when I'm sitting in this chair. Where long periods of time, you can feel, not to get gross, but you can feel maybe a little sweaty if you don't have that. So gaming, bro, it's got to lock in. All right. Then you have the 4D armrests that you'll see there, where you can raise them up and down. Great showcase right now. You can move them out, move them in. You can push them up, forward, or forward and back. Adjust them to if you're just laying back and relaxing. Then, of course, you can't really see it right now, but if she gets up, you can see the lumbar support. So, of course, if you can just showcase how to adjust that lumbar support there. Super simple. There's just a dial in the back there. You just simply twist and turn back, left or right to adjust the lumbar, and you can see it moving there to your liking, which I actually really like. I find that chairs that have like the pillows, I'm not a big fan of personally, but with this, I actually find it very comfortable. So after a while, I know it's you want to posture check everyone at home. I know your posture is probably not perfect right now, but that will allow you to help with that. Then, of course, they have the waterfall edge there. So very beautiful chair there. Very comfortable. I think it's the right amount of cushion. I don't feel like it's stiff enough but it's also just very comfortable. The cool part about our chair too, you can actually adjust the seat itself forward or back. So there is a seat depth slider where that one, I guess you can move it back or forward to your liking, which I think is a very nice touch because I know not everyone is going to be sitting the same way there. So very nice function on there. You also have on the other side the tilt limiter, so you can adjust or raise it up and down, rather, or you can show, because this is the tilt limiter here. So you can adjust the tension and as well the angle here. So the snaps that you're hearing, if you can hear it, is allowed you to adjust how far back it goes. So I will typically have, I honestly find myself adjusting this a couple of times throughout the day to my liking. So that's usually what I look like at home when I'm just watching a movie. My wife will vouch that I've probably fallen asleep many, many times on that chair just watching a movie from Discord doing that. And then you can also, and you see it there, perfect, adjusting the angle there. And of course, you can raise it up and down. So you have your option to raise it up and down. And that's, of course, what Brito likes, is having her feet float. I'm personally liking to at least have my feet on the ground. Just like that. I think that's the best optimal way. If you disagree, then I disagree with you. And
I like that. I'm with you, Brito. I'm with you.
No.
We do have a few questions actually on Embrace now. Otaku is asking, can the headrest lock positions easily?
So there's no it's simply you just move it and adjust it as you like, and it just simply locks into play. It won't lock permanently, but I have found myself never accidentally adjusting it from my own head. So like me just laying back on it, it doesn't really, you won't find yourself like, oh, I accidentally adjusted it on accident. So.
I know we did answer a few questions already during that showcase, that amazing showcase, by the way. Thank you so much, Sean, Brito, James. That was great. So if you guys have any more questions about Embrace, please ask them again if we didn't answer it. But yeah, we'll be here. And then I did see a comment real quick that was from Zinc saying, a restream of the Embrace launch stream.
Oh. I'm honestly really jealous. I was not in the office at the time when they did that, but I definitely think that was one of the best streams that we've ever done. Mm-hmm. Big shout out to Brito for getting that plan, and alongside the whole team there. They, every 15 minutes they changed
Something
it. For
new.
how long was it? Like a 7-8 hour
it was
stream?
Like a long stream.
So coming up with all those different ideas for 15-minute segments was honestly pretty impressive. I really wanted them to do some trick shots. I thought that would have been really fun, but of course, it's just they had so many ideas that we couldn't even get all the ideas in there, which is crazy to me. 24 hours on loop, do it.
Oh my
We should
gosh.
just always have always live Elgato channel and just have that stream just looping.
Here's a question from Burst of Hope. Would someone shorter than 5'5" still find Embrace accommodating? It's so hard to find a decent ergonomic chair for short folks. I'm 5'2", if that helps. And
That does help, honestly.
I mean, for me, yeah, I find it really comfortable. Or I find it really comfortable. I have to remember to talk into the mic. But yeah, no, for me, I find it really comfortable. Right now, I've been like sitting crisscross applesauce too since I started. But No, I find it very comfortable. I've been using it during all the live streams that we're on. And then I think Brito can also talk more too because she's also under 5'5".
No, she's 6'5".
She's like, yeah.
She's 6'5".
No,
Or her favorite, 6'7".
oh my God. No,
That's
not,
her favorite height.
not again. Yeah, so Brito in the chat says it's very comfy. I've sat for many hours now. Yep, and we use it throughout our entire stream. So, yeah, I'll say yes. I'll say yes.
Yeah, no, don't worry, Tony. I used to always just say jokingly like I'm 6'7" as height wise, not even referencing that. And so now it's sort of I've changed to 6'5". So I had to just lower it by 2 now for that reason. So it hurts my soul. My favorite number actually is 8.
My favorite number is 7.
8 is my favorite number.
7 is mine. Now we have to find someone whose favorite number is 6.
Whoo! Yeah, see, I'm an 8 kind of guy.
Oh my gosh. Can we go back to not James? Oh, and then a question from Vic who says, does it help me correct my posture and not crisscross or leg tuck while streaming or resting my leg on the desk?
It definitely can, but at the end of the day, it does come down to you because I still do a leg tuck at home. I don't know why. I just do. Vic, if you do that too, then that's awesome. Twinsies.
See, hear me out, right? If you have your legs dangle, you wouldn't do that.
But I feel like it's so uncomfortable. I feel like I'm just gonna like randomly
do
just
you
like rotate.
mean?
Like I'm like, oh, I'm rotating. Like no.
See? Oh, I just think I see dangle, but I'm gonna grab you.
Look, you can't even move. You need to grab something. Who wants that?
But hear me out. Usually you're not moving when you're sitting at your own setup.
So when you have to get up to get water or something, you just push yourself off your desk.
Yeah. Then you get up and you just go go back.
I don't know why she's like this.
Vito's in the background just laughing. Oh my
You
God.
ever question your coworkers sometimes? That's what I'm doing.
Hey, it's comfortable. It's comfortable. All right, I think that is all the questions. We've answered all the other questions already. But if anyone has any other questions, it's like your last chance to ask anything about our capture cards or Embrace, because we're gonna be starting the giveaway very soon. Actually, yeah, are you guys ready? We're giving away a 4K S today, guys. A 4K S. It's about time. It's about time.
Real quick, I saw Rosa Apona. Shout out my wife. I did not know you pushed yourself off. We got to fix that. We're fixing that. We need you to get a better
You
shirt.
fix that.
Yes.
Yo, let her be. She can do what
We
she
need-
wants.
we need
That
to
does not
be
need to be fixed.
The
sir.
same.
She can have her own experience. Let her live her life. One of us, the girlies here. He's the odd one out now, Jada. He's the odd one out. Isn't that right? No fixing
Yeah.
needed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll give you that one.
All right. I think while you answer some questions from chat or talk to chat, I'm gonna set up the giveaway. So, we can also bring out the schedule. Let's go ahead and bring the schedule. James, I'm gonna leave you to talk about schedule.
Perfect. So tomorrow is going to be the Stream Deck stream. So we'll have of course, our French team and the well as a Portuguese stream. So 10 a.m. UTC, where they'll be covering just, of course, the cells there, and then we'll have a Portuguese stream at 2 p.m. UTC, and then of course, I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to this next one. But then we have our Stream Deck showcase at 5 p.m. UTC. So 10 a.m. Pacific time here. So we're going to be covering everything Stream Deck related. We'll be showing some of our favorite plugins, the different kind of Stream Decks that we offer, how to likely get one set up. I know a lot of people still have, and I know a lot of our community here are fully aware that Stream Deck can do a lot, but it's going to be a really cool way to show how our team here uses Stream Deck, which I'm honestly will be on tomorrow as well We'll also have a guest from Corsair covering that, so I'll let that be a surprise. So really excited to have them on stream. No hints either. So we're covering all of our different versions of Stream Decks, which I'm really excited about. And then of course the 22nd, that will be a Friday. We'll have a German stream, another Spanish stream, and then we'll recap everything Elgato week. And then I do know we've been teasing about some kind of thing. I don't even honestly know what they've been teasing about a potential deal. I don't know. I guess we have like a coupon code potentially as well is going to be coming out. So if it's, will apply to not all of our products, but if there's a product on sale that you currently don't that you don't see on sale, it may apply. So, but we'll find that out.
Real quick, I do want to say, Vic, you don't want to miss out Friday. Let me tell you, your question. You do not want to miss out Friday, all right? You would want to be here Friday. Otherwise, you may forever be sad.
I don't even know what's happening.
So, just saying, that's all I'm going to say. Let the member of the months know. Everyone in chat, you don't want to miss out on Friday. Friday, you guys got to lock in, all right? It's going to be very, very, very special, all right? Very special.
Oh.
So, just heads up. Don't you say nothing. Don't you say nothing. Shh. All right.
Know.
But okay. With that being said, do you guys want to take a guess at what the keyword is today? I'm curious.
Pizza party? Ooh, sign me up. Not
James?
James?
No, it's not James. Oh my God, no, it's not 6-7. Oh my gosh. All right.
Is it Stream Deck tomorrow?
Someone says Stream Deck tomorrow. You guys think it's Stream Deck tomorrow? I mean, we were following like a little trend the past few days, a little trend the past few days. So we thought maybe you guys might have like figured it out. And Brita had a great idea, by the way. She had an amazing idea to kind of a little meme, in case you guys start typing it early. Where did it go? Oh, it's over here. Here you go. So here, let me go make this public for you guys so you guys can actually see it now.
The fact that both Brito and Jasmine have been able to interact with chat and still be hosts on the stream, I'm telling you, they're AI.
No, I mean, come on. I interact with chat when I'm playing Valorant.
True. True.
All right, chat. Keywords up. It is tomorrow Stream Deck. Tomorrow Stream Deck. So Monday, it was, what was it? It was audio. Right. Audio tomorrow. Yeah, audio tomorrow. And then
Tomorrow Stream Deck, which honestly makes sense. Tomorrow Stream Deck.
And then was it yesterday's giveaway was capture tomorrow, and today it was gonna be Stream Deck tomorrow. But like we're feeling a little silly, And Brito was like, let's do tomorrow Stream Deck, just to like throw them off a little bit.
Also, of course, this is only a giveaway on Twitch. So definitely be sure if you're on YouTube to come over and type in that keyword. And obviously the most important part is you must be following the stream to win. So if you're not following, be sure to follow now. I know we called it a couple of times. We've had, of course, how this happened. I know some of you guys have seen this where someone has won and they were not following. It's very awkward for everybody. I think everyone feels terrible in chat, but
so make sure you hit that follow button on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, like Jim said, come on over to Twitch. You still have some time. Twitch.tv/Elgato. Hit that follow button now. The winner yesterday actually came in so close because he came over from YouTube and immediately hit that follow button. And I think it was like a few seconds right after, after he had already followed, where he was like a 1 minute follower.
And Jasmine did go and look
I
and
checked
make
twice.
sure.
I made sure.
So
we always follow the rules thoroughly.
Just to make sure. So, and Jasmine's pretty cutthroat. She probably would have been, she's cheery and happy, but she is cutthroat. She would have been like, sorry, and then kept going with the energy.
I mean, to be fair though, we gotta be fair, right? I'm all about being fair to the community, which is why we try our best to have these giveaways all fair. Where it's one entry per person. If you're using alts and we find that out, you're getting banned. So, it's just the fairness, right? I want to make sure that everyone who's actually following the rules, they're the ones that end up winning. And if you're not following the rules, then unfortunate, gotta be James, gotta be, next time. Good luck next time, right? But yeah, so once again, must be 18 plus and older, following the channel, present when the winner is drawn. You have 60 seconds to claim the prize by typing anything in chat once your name is called. Otherwise, we will have to reroll for a new winner. The giveaway is for US, Canada, UK, and EU regions, residents only. So, and once again, 1 entry per person. So you only need to type it once. It's not case sensitive. Feel free to type it all in caps or all in lowercase. It's completely up to you. And yeah, I think we'll probably start the giveaway in just a few. Give a little bit more time for people. I do want to mention and call out the Elgato Drops plugin once more. if you want to go ahead and go to demo, we can go ahead and bring that up real quick.
Yeah, so you want to bring up the actual plugin itself?
Yes.
Perfect. So of course we have the plugin here. Of course you'll be able to see when it ends. It looks like, of course, we might need to refresh the software here. You'll be able to see the deal, or the one you'll get a vote on a deal between the core StreamDeck XL and then StreamDeck Plus network, or StreamDeck Plus with XLR dock sign up, and then as well you'll be able to wish list certain items. You'll be able to see when we're live, which is really cool and handy. You'll be able to, of course, just click on that button, or that key, sorry, and get right to the stream itself. So you can see here, it loads up the stream. We click on the wish list item here. It'll take us right to that section. Really nice touch too, where it actually takes you directly into the actual product section that you're interested in. So if anything you're looking for, definitely do that. So, but yeah, very simple to get. Of course, you get that by simply getting it from the app itself. So you can go into the plugins here. You can type in, there's two ways to get this plugin. Different kind of keyboard here, so I gotta get used to the keys here. You can type in Elgato Drops and it's right there, or obviously you can get it directly from the link that we've been sharing on Twitch chat there. So you'll simply just click on it, make sure you're signed into your marketplace account, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, and I also do want to hear feedback from you guys because this is very important to us too. So before we draw the winner, I'd like to know, what are your thoughts on this plugin? How are you guys enjoying Elgato Drops? The Elgato Drops plugin, did you guys already download it? Are there any features that you guys would like to see? Please type that in chat because we want to know, like, moving forward, if this is something worth investing time in for you guys, or if you guys want to see more of this in the future. So if you guys think this is great, tell us it's great. So that way we can, share this with the team, let them know, hey, we want to continue doing this because our chat loves it. It's a great little plugin that we made that, we'll share like updates of like when, sales are happening, when we're live, and, everything that, we just showcased right here. So there might be more updates to the future as well.
Can you also switch to the demo PC real quick? So if you're on, I'm not 100% sure on mobile, but it should be similar. If you want to see, you can click on this little icon down here in the very bottom to see how far you are from it. You just need to watch 3 hours. You may also just need to redeem it as well. So at least on desktop, you always click on this little icon down here, and you can see, of course, like Brady said, ignore the sub option there. Just simply watch for a couple of hours, and you'll see a chest should pop up, at least on desktop, and you can redeem it. Once you have that, you'll simply click on your little icon right here, and you can use custom badge for this channel and turn it on to actually redeem that, to have it appear in chat. And it's cool because it's live. You'll be able to use it forever in our channel. It does not go to other channels, so it's something that Twitch has recently introduced a couple of days ago, or yesterday, I believe it was. So Beta was all over it before they even announced it and got it set up for us, which is really cool. So that's how, at least on desktop, you'll be able to redeem that.
I love how like we were on completely different topics there. Because I was talking about the Elgato Drops plugin, so you switch over.
I did cover that though. I did cover that. I was just covering more of the badge because I saw someone in chat asking about the badge. I'm doing it for the people. Because we never covered it for the badge. I know a lot of people have been asking.
That was going to be the next question I was going to answer after we read chat because I want to see the feedback and stuff like that on Elgato Drops plugin.
I already covered it. The chat knows what's up.
Let's see. Vic says that to Elgato team and peeps, y'all did amazing. That's for the Elgato Drops plugin. Jake says very helpful. And then Purple Cloud says that the plugin is better than the annoying spam emails.
Whoa.
Icon City says it's fire. And then Dre the Moose says, what about adding a giveaway function where people can enter giveaways with a button press? I mean, we'll probably have to think about that. We'll see because we'll see. That's definitely a feature request, Send in all the feature requests you guys like to see on this plugin. A stream-only coupon code would be sweet, so everyone wins a little something. I see you. If you're here for the code.
Someone asked me a question, too, regarding deals. And I hope I've sold more than that. Because we honestly have really great products. I definitely know with my friends, at least, I've convinced them to definitely get Stream Decks and our microphones just because of me just chatting with them on Discord and covering different kind of functions on that, which, again, I'm super excited for tomorrow's stream and go into some of my favorite plugins on that.
And Sliver says, Elgato teams are surprising community. I love the innovation. Much love to the team. Aw, much love to you all, too. Let's see. Perfect.
Cool.
I'm catching up here on chat here. Game Humbler says a weird question, but do you have the source code for the plugin open source available? I mean, it's a super example for what you can all do with the Stream Deck.
So I know some of our plugins on our GitHub, we should have more information. If you're looking on to from a third-party plugin, a lot of you have to look on Marketplace in the very bottom. Sometimes they may link their GitHub to the code itself. Not everyone's going to do that, of course. It's not a requirement. If you're also looking into creating your own plugin, if you just actually, can you show the demo PC real quick? If you're interested in creating your own plugin, what I typically recommend people doing is just go into Google and typing Elgato docs. You'll get your maker documentation right here, and then you'll be able to learn about how to create plugins, icons, etc., and everything you need to know to get started on that. So if you're interested in creating your own plugin, you can do that. I highly encourage it. One thing that's cool is you don't actually have to host it on Marketplace to use it. You can create your own plugin, use it at home. And of course, if you are interested in sharing it to Marketplace, everything you need to know will be on here to get that going for you.
Awesome. And then we did have some comments here real quick that I do want to go before we start wrapping up the stream here. So let me see. Comment from... Oh, this is from Dre. I tell so many people to get Stream Decks because they are so amazing. Well, Stream Deck tomorrow, chat, is all going to be about Stream Deck tomorrow. Tomorrow is our Stream Deck stream. So that's going to be a great time. We have so much to showcase, so much to share, like so much to give like inspiration to what you can add to your personal Stream Decks too. Because remember, I want to make it clear, Stream Deck is not just for streamers. You can use it for productivity, you can use it for work, you can use it for editing, you can use it for art. Like there's so much you can do with Stream Deck. Oh my gosh, like I'm going on a little tangent tomorrow. But I saw someone, Rose was like, more Jasmine, please. Oh, don't worry, you'll see me tomorrow. You'll see me tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow talking about Stream Deck. I think most of you guys know how much I love Stream Deck. You know, it wouldn't make sense to not have me on a Stream Deck stream when I use Stream Deck so much. So I got you guys. Sweet. With that
Kino cannot do. Even for that, I cannot do that.
Can't do what?
They asked me to send them a kiss.
Oh my god. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. With that being said, let's go and get ready for the giveaway. You guys ready? We'll do a countdown from 10, 9. Let's get some hearts in chat for the team, guys.
8,
hearts in chat for team, for 2 Chili,
7,
for you guys, for
6,
you know, everyone.
5, 4,
4, 3, 2,
1.5, 1.
Chance the Techie, are you in chat? Chance the Techie, you currently now have. They're here.
Yep.
They're
perfect.
here. Confirmed. Okay, let me double check and make sure that you are following all the rules. Chance the Techie. They've been following us since February 27th, 2025.
Great
Let's
month.
go.
Congrats.
Congrats on winning a 4KS. Please make sure that your DMs are open on Twitch. You will receive a DM from Elgato via Twitch DMs. Sometime between like an hour-ish, an hour and a half. We're going to go have lunch right after this, so I'll reach out to you after. But yeah, congrats. Let's go and see who we can raid here. Who? Oh, Nutty is live, chat. Nutty is live. Our GOAT. One of our incredible creators. He is so creative. You guys will love what he does. If you guys don't know who Nutty is already, then what are you guys doing? Go give him a follow. But yeah, congrats to your winner. Pizza for lunch. No, we're having sandwiches. Delicious sandwiches. But all right, let's go ahead and start the raid over to Nutty. It looks like it started. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow for our Stream Deck live stream. And also, don't forget to check the region streams too. We have lots of streams happening throughout this week. So we'll see you then.
See you tomorrow. Bye.